To nobody's surprise, the team to beat once again in the WHL is the Vancouver Giants. Led by Evander Kane, the G-men boast the most potent offense in the entire league. Combine that with their usual stingy defense, and Don Hayes' crew has all the makings of another championship team. As a result, tonight's matchup in Edmonton will be a tough test for the second-year Oil Kings. Looking to improve on last year's expansion season, Edmonton gets its first crack at trying to run with the best the Dub has to offer. Clear your schedule. WHL Hockey on Shaw starts now. The Edmonton Oil Kings battle it out to see who will be top dog on Wiener Wednesday here at Rexall Place in Edmonton. Good evening and welcome to WHL Hockey on Shaw. I'm your host, Dan Elliott. Discount prices may be the promotion of the day in terms of food sales, but on the ice, the Vancouver Giants come full value. So far this season, the Giants have yet to lose in regulation. They're averaging over 5 goals a game, and they boast the top 2 scorers in the league in Evander Kane and Casey Pierro-Zabitol. Not good news for the struggling Oil Kings, who have surrendered at least 5 goals in each of their last 7 games, 6 of which were losses. So in order to try and remedy the problem, Edmonton General Manager Bob Green made a deal today, acquiring goaltender Torrey Jung from Lethbridge. Now this is the second time this week that the Tampa Bay draft pick has been dealt. He was originally traded from Kelowna to Lethbridge last Wednesday. He should be a great fit though here in Edmonton, as he will immediately slide into the #1 job. However, tonight he will back up Cam Lanigan. Now in terms of our play-by-play crew, there's no doubt who our #1 group is. It's Dan Russell and Bill Williamson. Right now they're upstairs with more on tonight's matchup.
Thanks very much, Dan. Fast starts for the Vancouver Giants, nothing unusual there. They're the only unbeaten team in regulation left in not only the WHL, Bill, but the entire CHL.
Terrific preparation by Don Hay and his team. He comes out of the gate strong so often, so quickly. You take a look at those first 10 games in the last 5 years. I'll tell you, the first 10 games the last 3 years, that's 30 games, Dan, 1 regulation time loss. He just really has his team well prepared.
And those quick starts sure set up the table for the rest of the season. Now, Jonathan Blum, according to Don Hay, he told me this on my radio show earlier this week, the very best player in the Western Hockey League.
You add that to General Manager Scott Bonner's comments that said that this kid here is the most mentally tough player he's ever seen. He's got that C on his jersey. He's leading by example on the ice. This guy can really control the pace of the game when he has it on his stick.
There's lots of players to watch on this Vancouver team, but none more special than Evander Kane.
Well, all he's doing as a 17-year-old is leading the Western Hockey League in scoring. He's got points in every game he's played. Why? Because he puts his chin down and he goes to that area right there. He doesn't go in there with his chin up wondering where the traffic is. He knows he can get to the puck. How about Pierro-Zabitol and Kane? Pure magic. Those 2 guys have been great. And it doesn't matter, Dan, who they throw on the right wing on that line.
That's the 1-2 scoring punch currently in the Western Hockey League, and just moments ago we spoke with Evander Kane. Evander, congratulations on a great start for you. I'm wondering, you have that gold medal from the World U18 around your neck. How much did what happened in Slovakia carry over to your start here in the WHL this year?
Well, I think it was real big for me, having a good start, to the season. I came in to camp in shape and, just carried that through.
The puck is really going in the net. How about the magic between you and Pierro-Zabitol?
I think we really roll off each other. We've played together for quite some time now, and I think we can just keep doing what we're doing. We're going to be a good line.
How about being watched every night by the scouts?
That's always going to happen, going into your draft year, and, you can't do really too much about that, and just you got to worry about the game.
Good luck. Thanks, Evander.
Thanks very much.
All right, let's now turn our attention to the second-year Edmonton Oil Kings. Before this season started, people were wondering, is this a playoff team? But they've got to defend way better if they're going to smell any playoffs.
Man, they're scoring lots, Dan, but they're giving up way too many. It's a kind of a flip-flop from what they did last year. The last 7 games they've played, last 7, they've given up 5 or more in every one of those. That's not going to get you in the playoffs. They got to tighten up.
All right, some players to watch from Edmonton include Mark Hesson.
What a player this defenseman is. He's 16 years old, first ever pick in the the Bantam draft. I'll tell you the endorsement he gets. General Manager Bob Green likens him to former Kelowna Rocket Shea Weber. Wow. What a year he's having in the National Hockey League. And I'll tell you, Bob Green knows his players. Hey, but Dan, he's got to get more help defensively. He can't do it by himself. Well, they have a new goalie. We'll talk about him as the night goes along, but they're getting offense, and this is a player that's putting the puck in the net, and he's one of a few. He's Jeff Lee. He goes hard to the net. Watch him use his size to fight off a check. See, here he comes. Look at it. He's a big guy. He's 6'2". He's 210 pounds. Dan, this guy can flat out fly. Jeff Lee's been doing a great job for this team in scoring because he's going to the net, and he's finishing off those kind of passing plays. And just moments ago, we had a chance to speak with Jeff down at the ringside. Jeff, the problem for the Edmonton Oil Kings does not appear to be scoring. What is being said about keeping the puck out of your own net?
Well, we just got to make sure we don't have any defensive zone breakdowns and just take care of the front of the net and make sure that they don't get guys in there that can score.
You're off to a great start offensively. Can you talk about your start and why the puck's going in the net so well for you?
Well, I think just being here right from the start with the team this year helps a lot. And just getting to know the guys and know the guys you're playing with, that helps.
That C looks good on you. How does it feel?
It was a good honor. Yeah.
All right, good luck tonight.
Thanks. Bye.
See you later, Jeff. Just moments from now, as a matter of fact, we're going to have our puck drop. The Vancouver Giants and the Edmonton Oil Kings. Stay with us. It's the WHL on Shaw. And a pleasant good evening again from Edmonton as we get set to bring you the very first Vancouver visit to Northern Alberta, putting their unbeaten record on the line against the second-year Oil Kings. And here's your goalies. Tyson Sexsmith, winner of the Memorial Cup in 2007, and a goals against average to start this year, 1.99. Cam Lanigan is a 16-year-old from Calgary. He has a winning record, 2-1 this year, 3.98 goals against average. Torrey Jung will be his backup here tonight, just acquired earlier today. Derek Herman, Derek Zalaski, two veteran Dereks working this game. And Blake Bradbury on the lines with Scott Sharon. And we're ready to go here in Edmonton. Last year, these two teams met only one time, and it was all Vancouver that night, 7-0. That game was played at the Pacific Coliseum. Edmonton in the red, shooting the puck through that neutral zone. Bright Cruz trying to move it into the Vancouver zone, could not. Here's Jonathan Blum collecting it for the Giants. Blum plays it over there to Regner and gets it back. Jonathan Blum slowly coming out of his own zone. Head up and a long pass up towards Cunningham. Goes off his stick and then offside. Boma in too soon.
You know, both teams are scoring a lot of goals so far this season. We talked about that. There is a danger that comes with that, and that's because guys get proud of all the points they're getting. They forget the part of the game that's so tough to play, and that's playing without the puck. Dan, it's a real challenge for coaches. It's not always that easy. It's a challenge when your team is scoring a lot to make sure that you still take care of all the details.
Our first chance to look this season at Thomas Vintsor on the ice, number 22 for the Oil Kings on that far side. Very highly thought of. Has 6 goals to start this year, at 16 as a rookie last year. So number 22 in red is certainly a player to watch. Here's Kane, who we've already spoken about, throwing the puck through the neutral, or through the slot area. Hero Zabatal could not catch up with it. Jeff Lee in over that line. Eliminated nicely by Shira, but Lee still got the puck down deep. And that's where the Giants collect it, and out they come through that neutral zone. That was Peluso having it knocked off his stick. The Giants follow it up. And over that line is Neil Manning. He fell in the corner, and there's Vintsor with the puck. His lead pass up towards Nygam. Misses him, and the Giants go back to collect the puck. Battling for it there is Mike Berube, number 4 for Vancouver, as he made it out to the neutral zone. 5 for Edmonton is Lukov. And now 13, Pearson sends it into Vancouver territory. As it comes around these near boards, it was gobbled up there by Raczynski. Raczynski wears number 20. Nygam goes and throws a nice check in the corner. Oil Kings really wanting a nice start here tonight. They've only led once after the first period of all their games they've played this year. They've only led one time. Out of their own zone is Mike Berube for the Giants. Trying to catch up with it is James Wright. He puts a sharp angle shot on Lanigan, who handles the puck for the first time. Giants swap the puck back at the goal. Here's James Wright from behind the net. Has Bassford with him as he plays it back to Regner at the blue line. as he plays it down low. Here's Blum trying to collect the pass, could not. Regner gets it back again. Regner up for none, over top his stick. It goes though to Bassford. Bassford, number 20, lost the puck, and the Oil Kings send it down the ice. Icing on Edmonton.
If you're going to beat Vancouver, you better get on their defense, and this is exactly what I think the Edmonton Oil Kings have to do. Go in on the forecheck and deliver a couple hits. There's a good hit by Nygam right there. As the puck continues, let it go. It'll go to the other corner, and you'll see another forecheck right in that zone right there. That is the only way that you can disrupt a defense that handles a puck probably as well, if not better, than any team in the Western Hockey League.
There's a long shot that changes direction but goes wide of the net on Lanigan. This game features 4 of the top 9 scorers in the Western Hockey League. And there's a chance, and the goaltender Lanigan able to squeeze it and hold on at the side of the net. But there's a lot of firepower in this game, Bill.
Yeah, but this is the guy that they've just picked up, Torrey Jung, in a trade today with Lesbridge, that they hope can stop some of the firepower. This guy's career stats, 21 wins, 27 losses for Kelowna. Last year he won 13 games with the Rockets and lost 12, Dan, in a year that the Rockets were rebuilding. And I really think, I mean, he lost the starting job to Christopher Westblom in Kelowna, but I think that's a terrific move for the Oil Kings to acquire Torrey Jung. And by the way, he's 19.
There's Cunningham back of the net for Vancouver. Centering pass in the slot area. Shot. Score! The Giants have opened the scoring right in front of the net. Lance Boma was there. I'm not sure who put it home. It might have been Fasenko, but Vancouver leads 1-0, 2:45 in.
Again, that's just good forechecking off the back wall. That's what Don Hay expects from his team. And when they get it to the front of the net, that's exactly what happens. That's Cunningham, a busy hockey player. He starts the forecheck. He got great support from Boma. He threw it to the front of the net. Look at that puck protection. Doesn't get any better than that. Protect the puck with your body. You get the throw out in front of the net by Boma, and the goal scorer there to finish it off.
It is Mikhail Fasenko who scores the goal, his second of the season. The Russian-born 18-year-old in his first year. Cunningham will get 1 assist, and I'm not sure if there'll be a second assist. There probably will be.
There has to be the throw-out from Boma. It was just a great pass out of the corner of the rink. I don't think you can get a line any more involved in a play than you saw right there. And Fasenko, who's really had a little bit of a tough start with Vancouver, because if you're going to play for Don Hay, you're going to learn the defensive part of the game first. Some of these guys, especially Europeans, they come over, they want the puck, they want to score with it, and they don't learn how to play that defense first. So for Fasenko, that's a big goal.
Here's Casey Piro-Zabital taking a shot. That's turned aside. The scoring play has been made official. It's Fasenko from Boma and Cunningham, 2:45 into the first period. So again, the Oil Kings find themselves down in a first period of play as Dowd brings the puck through the neutral zone. Dowd to Bright Cruz, being checked over that far side by Neil Manning, but Bright Cruz follows it up, tries to get it in from back of the net towards the front of the goal, but then it rolls off the stick, and Evander Kane will take over. He's all by himself as the Giants are making a change. And as he puts it in deep, Kane 2 peels off, heads to the bench on a line change. Ducking that check over on the far side is Bright Cruz. He too is tired, heading to the bench. And as the Oil Kings control the puck in the neutral zone, they'll complete their change as Lee brings it in over the line. Lee dropping it back to Vinsor, who puts it back to the net. Over there is Berube. Berube and Redicky battling for the puck. The Oil Kings come up with it, and it's loose in the slot area for them. Vinsor's pass, though, is a poor one, picked off by Bassford, and the Giants are able to come up the ice, but Nunn had it knocked off his stick. It's sent right back into Edmonton territory, and Lockerbie has it. 1-0 Vancouver, 4:20 gone here in the first period. Vancouver starting a 3-game Prairie road trip. They're in Red Deer on Friday, Lethbridge on Saturday. And Edmonton, by the way, will play 8 of their next 9 away from home. So they'd love to get something out of this one with lots of road games upcoming for the Oil Kings as Lanigan freezes that puck in his crease area.
You'll see with Don Hay, the great coaching record that he's had, closing in on 400 wins. Hey, how about 81 playoff wins? I think it's the same message year after year that he delivers to his players, probably just a little different delivery from time to time, but it's that team first concept that he preaches and that you better buy into. And his team right now, Dan, on this season has only given up 5 goals on the road in the 4 games that they've played. They've been just terrific away from the Coliseum.
How successful has he been? How about 191 games above 500 as a coach?
Yeah, this practices is hard, if not harder than the game is played. Some of his kids say that, boy, they get into the games, it's a whole lot easier.
Gallagher gets the puck over for Todd Kennedy, who sends the puck in. Todd Kennedy is from Kamloops. That puck rolls to the Oil Kings, and out they come. Going wide, Detroit Cruz. Now back to the net. Blum trying to tie up his man. Puck hits the referee. Regner gets it to Blum. Regner and Blum, defensive pairing for Vancouver, the #1 defensive pairing. Now through the neutral zone, that is James Henry, who's changed jersey numbers this year. He was lucky 13 last year. Now he's down to number 22. Shearer from the line. Long shot, redirects. There's a rebound there, and it's poked at by the Giants, but the Oil Kings successful to move it after that rebound. Here's Clay Comiskey. Comiskey got the puck over to Logan Prue, who backhands it back into Vancouver territory. Shearer's got it for the Giants. His pass nearly picked off. And now it's Lockerbie hammering it right back into Vancouver territory. Just one shot on goal in the hockey game, and it's gone in the net, at least according to the shot clock.
Well, we're going to show you one more here in a minute. That makes it for sure,
they've just adjusted it here. Sorry.
There it is.
It's more than that. They've now put up 5 for Vancouver, so that's quickly changed, and none so far for the Oil Kings. Here's Pasenko. He scored the goal up to Cunningham. Cunningham has a roll off his stick. Boma tries to get the puck in deep. Now controlling it is Brandon Lockerbie, one of their 20-year-olds. Edmonton, as a first-year team, was allowed to play with 5 20-year-olds, but once you get into your second season, it's like every other team. You're allowed 3 over-age players, and that player shooting it in. Brandon Lockerbie is one of them. Jeff Lee is another, and Brendan Dowd is their 3rd overager.
Here comes another red-shirted Oil King. They really are trying to get a forecheck going against this Vancouver team. But we showed you that highlight before, the 2 forechecks, Dan, but it was within a minute that Vancouver answered back on their own forecheck, and the difference was they had possession of the puck.
There's a shot at the sharp angle. The first test for Sexsmith is a shot by Brent Reddicky, and it almost found its way through on that short side, but Sexsmith holds it out.
This is again what Vancouver does well in the offensive zone. They get the shot on the net, and you watch how quickly after this shot ends up on the net, defense to defense. I want you to watch the white-shirted Vancouver Giants, how quickly they converge to that area right there. There's one whack at it and another whack at it. Bowman, Cunningham, both looking for a rebound. Going the other way, good effort by Reddicky to get that puck on the net. He fanned on his first try, but again, nothing there. Look at the defense boxing out. Good work by Piero Zabitol to come back in front of his net, make the back check the way you'd expect the centerman to do it.
The person on the shot clock says no, that hit the side of the net as much as it hit Sexsmith, so they're not crediting Edmonton with a shot on goal as we are past the 7.5-minute mark here. Giants leading 1-0. Have that rush broken up. And back the other way comes Shane Nygam. Nygam from Kindersley, Saskatchewan, puts the puck back to the net. There's Michael Burns trying to move it in front. Back to Nygam at the sharp angle. Couldn't get the shot on goal. Vancouver intercepts, and out they come. Nunn collecting the pass. Nunn with Blum. Blum so good at jumping into the rush. Blum is a defenseman, but Don Hay has told us that this year, don't be surprised if we play Blum at times up on the wing.
Imagine that when you've got a defenseman like that has the vision of a forward, maybe even the vision of a centerman. Tell you, the Nashville Predators got a good one when they got Jonathan Blum in the first round 2 years ago. And you know, for a California kid, Dan, it's a little odd that they have that much creativity. They play in this league, but you know, Blum's special in the way he sees the ice.
Kane puts the puck into Edmonton territory. Cam Lanigan has the puck. Goaltender sweeping it around the boards, but the Giants are able to hold it in. Here's Kane trying to center the puck. Kane and Pesic battling for clear possession. Casey Piero Zabitol is number 17, trying to take that puck out of the corner. Protects it very nicely. There's a long shot from the point, all set up because Casey Piero Zabitol was able to fight off the check and feed the blue line. Now he collects a pass in the neutral zone. We'll roll it in from center as Kane gives chase. So too does Gallagher. Vancouver trying to complete a line change. Kane from back of the goal. Now into the corner. Oil Kings, Comiskey starts out. Play Comiskey, nice move to get the puck in deep. Trying to throw it in front of the net. Being checked by a couple of Vancouver Giants. There's a turnover and a chance for the Oil Kings. Their shot stopped, the rebound. It's poked just wide of the net. Good opportunity on the rebound there for Comiskey, but he couldn't get clear possession. There was Edmonton's best chance. Bright Cruz. Now gets it to Dowd. Dowd's pass picked off, and now the Giants get it out as Todd Kennedy is able to roll it back into Edmonton territory as he gives chase. Edmonton unable to clear it. Here's a chance from the wraparound attempt. That was James Henry trying on the wraparound. Flanagan there to block it, and here come the Oil Kings out of their own zone. Dowd taking the pass, rolling it in, but he was on his own side of center, so it's icing on the Oil Kings.
This is the kind of season Brett Brightcruise's had. He leads his team in scoring. As a matter of fact, he's in the top 6 in the Western Hockey League. This is why he's able to do these kind of things. We get a turnover, protect the puck. Look how wide he took that to get that shot on net. And then he's got his fellow teammate Sudek right in there. Look at that puck protection. Beautiful play. The shot, Sexsmith in good position to make the save. He certainly wasn't in great position for any rebound, but he got some defensive help to check Sudek, who was just waiting for a rebound.
The one-time Kelowna Rocket, Bright Cruz, 9 goals, 8 assists. And we're going to take a break. We're halfway through the first. Giants 1, Oil Kings no score. You're watching the Western Hockey League on Shaw. Back at Rexall Place, Dan Russell alongside Bill Wilms and the Shaw crew. We're halfway through the first period. Vancouver leads at 1-0 on a goal at 2:45 of this opening period, scored by Mikhail Fisenko. And he's out on the ice right now, number 18 in white. That's him with the puck along these boards. His pass to Blum went off his stick and out of play at the Edmonton bench.
Interesting story on Cam Lanigan, the 16-year goaltender for this Edmonton Oil King team. He used to go to all the Calgary Hitmen games, and he'd watch and listen to the rowdy fans riding the opposing goaltender. Now, he experienced firsthand what that was like. He goes to Saskatoon. He says the worst guy ever to the left of him in the stands wouldn't quit heckling him, and he quieted him down. He had 39 saves that night for a win against Saskatoon, a very good Saskatoon team, I might add, a 4-2 win, but a little different when you're on the ice.
I didn't know those Hitmen fans got on the opposing goalie, so we never hear that from where we have our beautiful perch at the Saddle Dome.
They've got their special spots where they know the goalie can hear it real well.
Of course, you and I go way back in the Western League when the Queen's Park Arena with the New Westminster Bruins. You talk about fans that could get on a goalie. How about a fishing rod with a sieve on the end of it where the hook was supposed to be, and every time the puck went in, some fan would cast that sieve halfway out towards the blue line and then slowly reel it in as they were celebrating yet another goal by the New Westminster Bruins. Those days are gone.
The chicken, throw the chicken over there on fish line, and just when the referee went to pick the chicken up, he pulled it back, slid along the ice and up the glass and over the top. Wow.
Lee's pass up towards Reddicky, misses him. Giants on the turnover take a shot from a far way out. It's turned aside. That was Kane who gets the puck back again. Here's Shearer at the blue line. Shearer's long shot, high and wide, comes off the back of the net, and the Giants do get possession, but it rolls around for Edmonton. Reddicky, his lead pass up for Lee. Shearer breaks that up. Here's Reddicky trying to follow it up. That pass picked off and sent down the ice by Vancouver. There's no icing here, and Brandon Lockerbie will get the puck. Appropriately enough, he started his career with Brandon. Now it is Reddicky. His pass too high to handle at the Vancouver line, and the Giants get possession. They still do not have a shot registered on the clock here for the hometown Oil Kings. Kieran Friesen is number 4, playing his very first Western Hockey League game. He's out there right now, number 4 for Edmonton. Friesen, a 16-year-old from Vanderhoof, British Columbia.
Adding more youth to an already very, very young team on the back end. You know, even with Adrian Van de Mosseler and Drew Nickel in the lineup, 2 defensemen that are not playing tonight, this is probably the youngest defense in the entire league.
Van de Mosseler out with a back injury right now. Nickel has a neck injury. And as the puck goes down the ice, it's icing on Vancouver.
Steve Close said one of the biggest lessons as coach that he learned last year, his first year for the Oil Kings, was how fragile the confidence level is of players this age. And boy, isn't that true. You got to know that these kids can be as high as can be one time when they score, feel so good about themselves, feel so good about a win, and then, boy, it's not 2 shifts later, they could be down and out. And I mean, that might be one of the toughest things as a coach, that you got to balance that off. You got to know who handles that better than others.
His team is 3-6 here at Rexall Place this year. Last year they posted 13 home victories.
And the 3-6 record at home, how about 47 goals against?
Right, and just 34.
Yeah.
I mean, 34 is good, but that's a 17 difference.
Yeah, and the 47 is the most goals that any team has given up on home ice in the Western Hockey League. The 30 they've scored, and they've yet to get a shot on goal here tonight.
Now they've had one. They're late on the shot clock today. They now put one on the board.
You know, but only Vancouver and Calgary has scored more than them. You know, when you take a look at this Jonathan Blum, we featured him earlier in our pregame show. With that captain that he's got, captaincy that he's been given this year, you know, people take that a bit for granted. And when I say that, you've got peers talking in one year, and you've got management like Don Hay and Scott Bonner and all the upper echelon guys speaking in the other ear, if you will. And boy, you've got to balance that. You lose the respect of either one of those categories, and your job as being a captain is very, very difficult to do.
Here's Brent Regner with the puck. Back in the lineup, he missed a game with staph infection. And he was checked out before he played tonight. There was some question whether he was going to get in the lineup. Regner did not bust with the team here. He flew in yesterday. Regner plays across ice to Blum. Long shot purposely wide of the net, and that's where the Giants pick it up. And there's some zigzagging going on, and they score! What a play from back of the net. Centered once more, and there's Fasenko with his second goal of the night. You say he's having a little trouble, Bill? How about his first period of the night?
Yeah, and you know what? You take a look at Blum, he fires that puck in from the point. I got to believe that Jonathan Blum knew exactly where this puck was going. To the back of the net. He wasn't aiming that at the goal. Now you watch the work that's done at the back of the net by Gallagher. He's not the biggest guy. Back, forth, or is that Cunningham? Back and forth, back and forth. Use the net as a shield. Watch it again here. This is pretty clever. Right
Very
in that
clever.
area right there. That's a great job of just going back and forth. You bet. There's the pass. Fasenko stick is ready. Goaltender too deep. That's the problem there. The puck goes over top.
Giants goal scorer number 18, Michael Fasenko. The assist to number 11, Brendan Gallagher. And at number 7, Jonathan Blum.
Well, you know, all the plays on that goal were really special. Blum's play from the blue line, incredible, really. I mean, he was like a pinball machine. He knew exactly where he was going to put that. And that's a 16-year-old doing all that stick handling back to the net, zigzagging like he's been in this league for a long time. And Fasenko parks himself in a nice spot and a great release.
Wow, he backed off. Fasenko backed off about 6 feet there to get to open ice to take that pass, but his stick was ready.
That's a pretty goal. Very creative goal.
Yeah.
In this day and age of hockey, we don't see a lot of goals at the National Hockey League level like we used to in yesteryear, and you got to find new ways to score them.
Now, they could only find a few ways to score goals in the shootout. A little bit more creativity. Don Hay's team would be a little bit better. 7 wins, 22 losses in shootouts. And he says they practice it.
Yeah. Well, we'll just develop that as we move along here. I don't know if we're going to get to shootout here tonight, but that would require Edmonton to get some more shots on goal, because right now the Oil Kings, though not playing poorly, they're just not getting enough offense. That's easier said than done against a very stingy Vancouver team. It's hard to get in those scoring areas. There's a long shot from the line once again. That was Maschmeyer out there on the right point, feeding it over. Kane's from back of that. Hero Zabitol out there as well. Bright Cruz, once he gets it, only one choice but to clear it. Now he gets it back again, picks it off nicely, brings it in over the line, rolls it back to the Vancouver net, comes off the backboards towards Sexsmith, who clears it away. Gobbling it up there is Brent Redicke, but his pass picked off easily, and the Giants able to get it out to the neutral zone. 4.5 minutes to go here in the first period. Back to collect the puck there is Mike Berube. Berube is from Edmonton. There's quite a number of Alberta boys on this Vancouver team. In fact, they have 5 from Alberta, 11 from British Columbia. There's 14 Alberta boys in this hockey game, 15 from BC. Regner back to collect it. His head on a swivel, takes the safe play, puts it out to the neutral zone, sent back in again. That was Jesse Pearson putting the puck back into Vancouver territory, but only for a moment as the Giants come out with James Henry. Henry rolls the puck into Edmonton territory, and it's Jesse Pearson first to it. He plays it over to Kieran Friesen. Friesen trying to move it up the boards. That's successful for Logan Prue as he rolls it into Vancouver territory. Regner to it first. Being watched closely there by Sudet.
Boy, do you see that move Regner made? You watch that breakout. That is a phenomenal breakout simply because of Brent Regner behind his own net. Just knew exactly where he was going with that puck.
There's Shira. Shira gets the puck up through to Henry, who rolls it back into Edmonton territory. Boma first to it on the backboard. Boma centering it, but nothing but red shirts there. That was Brandon Lockerbie breaking it up and sending it out to the neutral zone. Here comes Vancouver again, but they're offside. Cunningham in too soon on this near side.
What a nice story Brent Redicke is for this Edmonton Oil King team. He anxiously watched the NHL draft. He wasn't drafted. It was just moments after the draft that he got a phone call from the Detroit Red Wings. This is an 18-year-old, number 9 for the Edmonton Oil Kings. He got a phone call 5 minutes after the draft, and he went to rookie camp. He got invited to main camp, and he got signed. How about that? He doesn't get drafted, goes to camp, he gets signed. And he said the coolest part of it was Chris Chelios and Darren McCarty both formally introduced themselves to him. And he said, man, oh man, I can't believe what's happening. He was the only player last year to play all 72 games for the Edmonton Oil Kings.
And of the 4 wins the Oil Kings have this year, he has 2 of their game-winning goals. So he's off to a good start as well as the puck rolls around these near boards. Here's Nunn. Nunn's pass, picked off, or at least knocked off. Michael Burns skates into that far corner. And the Giants able to get the puck to the line, but no further. Gobbling it up there is Raczynski. Raczynski trying to move it in front, could not. Manning from back at the goal. They're all tied up. Number 17 is Burns for Edmonton. Trying to dig it free. Nygam there as well. 15 going in there is Dowd. That's him back of the net. Trying to find somebody loose in front. Dowd again from the corner, being worked over a little bit by Manning. Nice pass to the line. Comes back to Pearson, and his shot goes wide of the goal. Puck still loose at the side of the net. Wright plays it around these near boards. And I was just thinking this period has not had a penalty, and just as that thought went through my head, you can see the arm is in the air, and Vancouver is going to be penalized.
I think most of this whole sequence, if you take a look at it, is initiated by Brendan Down. He was just terrific on the forecheck. He made that good pass that you talked about back to the blue line, kept that puck alive, and it's an opportunity here. It's a penalty against the Edmonton Oil Kings.
Yeah, roughing in the by Nygam in the offensive zone.
Yeah, 12 right there. 12 for the Edmonton Oil Kings, gets his stick up, and obviously the new rule change allows you now to start the power play in the opposing team's zone.
And you wonder how many goals that'll lead to at all levels of hockey this year.
I think it's a terrific rule. It's such a good rule. It makes me wonder how was it never in there before?
This is the #1 power play in the Western Hockey League, operating at 33.3%. They've cashed in 20 times in their 60 chances.
Well, you watch it. This is what happens. They don't connect on this one. Pero Zabatal gives. He slides it to the front of the net. Kane trying to get it cross ice to, looks like Peluso, or is that Regner has snuck in from the point? It's so simple the way they are able to execute that. That's because you have a whole lot of poise.
2-0 Vancouver lead here in the first, but they're working on a power play and a chance to really take a stranglehold here in Edmonton with a late power play goal as Regner on his skates, able to get the puck to Piero Zabatal, back to Regner. Blum sneaking in on this near side. Here's Casey Piero Zabatal putting the puck in front of the net. They're banging at it. Blum's there, but Lanigan is there as well. He jumps on it to freeze it. And some pushing and shoving afterwards, as you see Pearson in there with Evander Kane, and they're broken up by the linesman.
Well, you know, this is what you're talking about, Coach Don Hayes saying, I'll put Jonathan Blum at the front end at any time. Might even play him as a forward. Take a look at the power play stats that the Vancouver Giants have. If they're on pace, I think, for 144 goals, they'll never keep it up. But then that pace pales compared to the Swift Current Broncos of 88-89 when they scored 180 power play goals. I mean, it was a much more wide open league at that time, but what a difference in the game of hockey, and especially in the power plays.
offsetting minor penalties to Kane and Pearson here. And as a result, for some reason, this faceoff comes all the way the other side. Well, probably because Kane's getting the extra minor. So that's the indicator right now. We don't even have to hear the announcement. Kane's probably going to get 4 minutes. Pearson gits 2, and the only reason we know it is that the faceoff has come 200 feet the other way.
Yeah, they'll play a minute. Well, what's that? A minute 20 seconds, 4 on 4.
At least the rest of the period, barring further penalties.
Yep. And again, great opportunity for defense to get involved in the attack, the offensive attack.
Here's Redicke from back of the goal, trying to take advantage of the extra ice, and he might. Here's Redicke holding it, shooting it over top the net.
The Oil Kings number 13, Jesse
Announcing the penalties here. So the Pearson is 2 minutes for roughing, and Kane
4 minutes
for roughing. All right, extra minor to the Vancouver Giants.
45 seconds.
And here we are in the last minute of the period. And here's a turnover and a chance for the Giants, but unable to get the shot away was Boma. He was taken down, and the Oil Kings get possession. Half minute to go in this period. And here comes Lockerbie. Lockerbie rolls it in and gives chase. Blum will get to it first. He backhands it around the boards. Regner trying to catch it, cannot. Dowd putting it back in the net. Blum's got lots of room now to move it. Over on the far side, the Giants will able to move it out as Henry lugs it up to Gallagher. And they'll just probably, well, we'll see. They're not going to just grind it on those far boards. Thought they were going to grind it and kill the clock. Now the clock is eliminated for this first period, and a period really dominated by the Giants. I mean, 2 goals, a 10-1 shot margin. But what strikes me the most there, Bill, is that not so much that Edmonton played poorly, but every time that they got the puck, they just had no choice but to dump it out, maybe make a line change. It didn't have the chance to create any offense.
I think one of the real strengths of the Vancouver Giant team defensively, and especially their defensive unit, is their reads. They're not going to be a very powerful team that'll drive you through the glass every time, but boy, their game is predicated on how well they read the play, and they very, very seldom make mistakes that'll leave guys open. And you talk about getting good starts. It's a 2-0 Vancouver lead here. They've never trailed after one period all season. Edmonton so far has been trailing 7 times after the first period. So, you know, again, it's the old story that Edmonton looking to get off to a much, much better start, and Vancouver methodically playing the first 20 minutes on the road.
All right, let's go down to ice level and Dan Elliott.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Joined by Brett Brightcrews. And Brett, you guys just registered 1 shot in that first period. What do you guys need to do to try to get more shots on the Giants?
We're just going to get pucks behind their D. I think a lot of turnovers at the blue line. And, you know, that's not good, especially against a team that's as good a transition as these guys. So just get pucks deep and grind it out, just throw them at the net.
You're 6th in the league and scoring with 17 points. Do you feel a little bit more pressure to produce for your team?
Oh, no doubt. I think, you know, now that, you know, older guy, 19-year-old guy, had a pretty good start. So I just have to, you know, I feel the pressure from the guys and from the coaching staff, you know, that, you know, I got to step out and produce every game. So,
2nd year with this franchise, do you feel like there is progression from this group, that you see you're taking steps in the right direction?
No doubt. I think, you know, we haven't had the results, but we've been playing well. You know, we've been out shooting a lot of teams, scoring some more goals this year. So just tighten up in our D zone. I think the wins will come.
All right, thanks for doing this. Best of luck the rest of the game.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
All right, coming up in the first intermission, we'll be joined by the Edmonton Oil Kings general manager, Bob Green. Hear what he has to say about his team. Plus, we'll check in on the Brandon Wheat Kings, who are celebrating earning the berth. They'll play host, in fact, for the 2010 Memorial Cup. That's all coming up next, right here on WHL Hockey on Shaw. All right, welcome back to Rexall Place in Edmonton. Vancouver Giants with a 2-0 lead over the Edmonton Oil Kings. I'm ringside now here with the general manager of the Oil Kings, Bob Green. Thanks for stopping by, Bob. Maybe first off, your impressions of the first 20 minutes of play from your team.
Well, I thought we played very well. Vancouver's such a tough team to generate any shots or offense against, and make 2 mistakes in your own end of the rink, and they're both in the net. So we got to find a way to get some shots and create some scoring opportunities.
Well, we're going to try to avoid Zamboni here as it rolls by us, but maybe you can talk about the deal you made today for Torrey Jung, goaltender. He's got some good experience in the WHL. What basically, obviously the injury to Dallin Flett led you to making the deal, but how do you like Torrey Jung?
Well, we feel fortunate that he was available for us, and we got into a situation in Lethbridge where they had 3 goaltenders and had to make a decision, so it worked out well for us. It's going to be nice to have his experience with the young D right now, and hopefully he can help us out here in the short term and the long term.
Were you looking at a deal with him before he got moved to Lethbridge?
You know what? At that time, we were pretty happy with the way things were going. I mean, we were giving Dalen a chance to be our number 1 guy, and you know what? He got banged up and tried to play through it. It just wasn't going to work for him, and he's going to have to wait and get healthy again.
With most expansion franchise, goaltending seems to be the toughest position to fill. Would you see it that way?
Yeah, I think there's not a lot of depth at that position in this league anyway, and to have one real good guy is tough, and let alone have a couple capable guys. So we've got a young kid with us. We want to manage his games and minutes a little bit, make sure we develop him properly. So Tori is going to be his experience is going to help us in that regard as well.
Year 2 on the ice for your team. Are you seeing the progression right now that you like at this point in time?
Well, we had a good start, and we've tailed off. We were a little banged up on our back end, and we're a little younger back there than we probably want to be. But that everybody goes through that, and those kids are going to get a chance to play and gain experience. That's going to make them better in the long run. And up front, we knew we'd score a little bit more this year, and we have. So I think once we get everybody going again, and it'll be interesting to see where we can take this team.
For you, is it a 5-year plan, a 3-year plan? What is the focus in terms of putting your team in a spot where they really can't contend?
Well, I think if you look at teams like Vancouver and Kootenay, I mean, it took 5 years. And the players we took in our first draft are 16-year-olds right now. And, at 16, it's tough to win hockey games. It's tough to be a major contributor to winning hockey games. So we've got to be patient. And if we do things like we did with Tori, we're not going to give up the future to make short-term decisions. So we've always got to be aware of that and realize that we're building here for the future and hopefully beyond that.
How important is it for your team to have success to ensure that you have a solid fan base here in Edmonton?
Well, I think fans here understand the game very well. They know where we're at as a franchise. We're young. They see the growing pains. I think the product is pretty good. I think we're a team that's competitive most nights, and we're entertaining to watch. We do score. I think our game people here do a great job of putting on a show in between periods and in the game. And I know kids love coming. So I think it's all a big package. And as we get better, I think people will come out and watch us play.
Many people forget that you're under new ownership with Daryl Cates. How has that changed for you and your team?
Well, I don't think we've really seen a lot at our level. Everything pretty much remains the same. Kevin Lowe still oversees all the hockey operations, and and that's who I deal with. So really, from our standpoint, nothing's changed, and we just have to keep building for the future.
A lot of people are talking about Thomas Vansor this year, obviously a highly projected pick in the NHL entry draft. Maybe what can you tell us about this player that you picked out in the import draft and what people should expect to see from him in the future?
Well, he's a big kid. He's got good skills. He's got a real good knack around the net, and he skates well and really adapted to the North American style of hockey very well. He's learned the English language, really quickly, which helped him and adapt to the way of life over here. So I think he's an exciting kid to watch. He's probably more of a North American type player than import. Really strong on the puck down low, and plays that type of game.
How do you track a guy like that down? I mean, obviously you get him in the import draft. Do you have scouts over in Europe, or is it just word of mouth?
A lot through Edmonton Oilers scouts. Frank Musil and Kenton Nielsen are over there, and we get a lot of information, especially on Tomas from Frank Musil. He knew him and knew him very well, actually, and gave us a lot of good information. And, of course, the other thing is getting the guys to come over here. That's not always a given, but, it worked out well.
Well, thanks for doing it. I appreciate you stopping by. Best of luck to your team the rest of the game tonight and the rest of the season.
Thanks very much.
All right, Bob Green, the general manager of the Edmonton Oil Kings. We'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back to WHL Hockey on Shaw. The Vancouver Giants lead the Edmonton Oil Kings 2-0 after 20 minutes of play. Mikhail Vasenko with a pair of goals for the G-men. He now has 3 on the season. Now, last week, it was announced the Brandon Wheat Kings will be hosting the 22 Memorial Cup. They beat out the likes of Kelowna and Everett for the honor. This will be the first time in the event's 92-year history that'll be held in Manitoba. And considering the high-end talent the Wheat Kings have with the likes of Braden Shen and Scott Glennie, it could be a great year for the Wheat Kings as they look to take home the CHL's top prize on home soil in 2010.
On behalf of the Western Hockey League Board of Governors and Bruce Hamilton, the chairman of the board, who's with us today and available for comment after, that the host of the 2010 MasterCard Memorial Cup will be the province of Manitoba and the Brandon Wheat Kings.
With that announcement, the hard work begins for Kelly McCrimmon and the Brandon Wheat Kings organization. But for now, the governor, general manager, and head coach is happy to have the opportunity to showcase the city of Brandon and the province of Manitoba.
It's a real special day. Lots of work has been done to put us here. We've got clearly a lot more that lies ahead, but for the short term, this is a real special accomplishment for everyone.
Brandon Wheat Kings are our sole representative within that province, and it's very important for us to have a strong presence in Manitoba, and this allows us to elevate that as part of the hosting of the event and to ensure that hockey players throughout Manitoba who aspire to play in the Western Hockey League and fans throughout that province have the opportunity to witness our great game.
Brandon's bid beat out 2 other entries in Kelowna, who hosted in 2004, and Everett, Washington. Commissioner Ron Robison says there are a few qualities that stood out to the WHL Board of Governors, allowing the 42-year-old franchise to get their first crack at the Canadian Hockey League Championship.
The site itself will be enhanced through provincial and municipal capital improvements to the building, the financial support being backed by both the province and the city as well, and then a very solid hockey team that's led and under the direction of Kelly McCrimmon, which we have great confidence in him not only being competitive, but being a championship caliber team.
The other thing that was really important is because we were able to secure provincial funding and city funding to do upgrades to our building. I think that was really key. Not only in enhancing the event and helping our building meet minimum standards to host an event of this profile, but also for the legacy that it leaves for the building and for our organization.
Another requirement was a strong on-ice product, and the league feels Brandon will have a team that'll compete for a WHL championship next season.
You have to have a competitive team as host of this particular tournament, and in this format, it's very important to look at the type of talent that they're going to have available to assemble that team, and we were very confident the Brandon Wheat Kings are going to be a very strong team next season.
With potential returning players such as 2007-08 Rookie of the Year Braden Shen, prospect Scott Glennie, and NHL draft picks Colby Roback and Matt Calvert, the Wheat Kings will have a solid nucleus for next season. And if the opportunity to win a Memorial Cup eludes them this year, they'll have a great crack at it at home in 2010. Brendan Parker, Shaw TV, Calgary.
Yeah, it should be a fantastic Memorial Cup come 2010 in Brandon. Yeah, it is the Vancouver Giants leading the Edmonton Oil Kings 2-0. Vasenko with a pair of goals. Vancouver out shooting Edmonton to this point 10-1. Keeping goals out of the net has been a big issue for Edmonton over the last little while. As we said off the top, the last 7 games have given up 5 or more goals. So that's why a big reason Tori Jung has been brought in here. Time now to take a look around the rest of the WHL. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. How about the Saskatoon Blades? They are red hot right now. They've won 8 straight, and now they're up 1-0 on Portland. After 1 period of play, Adam Chernenko, his first goal as a Blade to lead that team, 1-0. 0-0 score between Moose Jaw and PA, both those teams in the basement of the Eastern Division. Elsewhere, Red Deer taking on Calgary. The Rebels are up 2-1. Carter Smith, Tyler Penny scoring for the Rebels. Kyle Bordas has won for Calgary. It is Medicine Hat leading Prince George 2-1. The Tigers' goals both coming on the power play. This game in the first intermission. 2 other games that will be going on this evening starting at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Seattle is in Kamloops to take on the Blazers, and it'll be the Kelowna Rockets, who Tori Jung's old team. They will be in Chilliwack to take on the Bruins, of course. 2 teams in the BC division, which of course the Vancouver Giants are leading with a 7-0-0-3 record. Their 3 losses all coming by way of shootout. All right, that does it for myself right here ringside. Time now to send it upstairs to Dan and Bill, get their thoughts from the first 20 minutes of play.
All right, thank you very much, Dan. Well, they pretty much wrapped it up as far as your overview of the first period. I mean, Vancouver 10 shots, Bill, to Edmonton's 1, so the scoreboard does tell the story.
And you can tell, I think, just before we do get into the highlights, Dan, Don Hay does a very good job in scouting the opposition team. And when you're giving up a lot of goals around the net, you'll see that you want to get a young defense looking back towards the back wall to somebody who's got the puck, and then you sneak somebody into the front of the net area to get him the puck, simply because you're not paying attention. Your head isn't on a swivel.
Are they practicing a play like that?
Well, they know one thing, that they want to generate the plays, the pass-outs from the back of the net if they can. There was nothing much off the rush. Vancouver didn't really impress a whole lot with what they did off the rush, but when they got the puck in deep, that's when they went to work off that back wall. You saw a great pass from Boma to Fesenko. Then you saw the pass from Gallagher to Fesenko, simply because they had that young, inexperienced defense looking the wrong way.
All right, let's roll the highlights now, and we'll see exactly what Bill's talking about as far as those passes from back of the net.
Well, first of all, in their own zone, we're going to show you Vancouver pretty good play in the body. Look at that, taking away time and space. Now, there's the pass. You had all of the red-shirted Edmonton Oil Kings looking the wrong way. This is a puck we're talking about. Oh, that was Brett Brightcruz. What a nice job he did. And he stayed with it, 29. We talked to him between periods. Now, he's in behind the net. Gallagher, look at 1, 2, 3, count them. They were all looking at the back of the net. And Misha Fesenko backed off even just about 10 feet, 8 feet to get a little bit of room. But he knew, Fesenko knew that when he looked up there, he said, hey, all those red-shirted defensemen and forwards are looking towards the back wall. I'm going to sneak back here and get a pass. And you know what? That was exactly the way the coach said to do it.
2 goals for Fesenko, one 3 minutes in and one 13 minutes in, and the Giants have a 2-0 lead after the first period here in northern Alberta. You're watching the Western Hockey League. Good-looking crowd here tonight in Edmonton. Back after these messages.
Just not enough of them.
Thanks for being with us tonight. It's the WHL on Shot. Dan Russell with Bill Wilms. These two youngsters hoping that the Vancouver Giants could slow down a little bit. They've got this big line, Bill. They got a nickname for that line yet?
I think they went with the Pez line. There you see it. They've got 52 points in 10 games. I got to believe that's the highest scoring line in the Western Hockey League. But they've got a pretty good line in Calgary. They've got Kozin, Sonny, and Bordas doing a great job in the Hitman town. So, but this has been a great line for Vancouver this year.
It's the Pez line because of those little candy dispensers?
Distribute the candy. You got it.
I get it. Somebody probably slept only for 2 or 3 hours that one night.
Figuring that one out.
Figured it out. Okay, well, as we start this period, we have a power play going on here for a half minute for the Oil Kings. It's their first man advantage of the hockey game, however abbreviated it may be. Here's Pesek at the blue line, holding it in, getting the puck down low. That is Clay Comiskey trying to work his way off the board. Says Brendan Dowd with them, but the puck rolls to Vancouver, and it's Gallagher sending it out to the neutral zone, and we've got the puck knocked down with a high stick. Now below play down, and a face-off will go all the way back into Edmonton territory.
You know, the Oil Kings power play has been really red hot lately. They've got 9 goals in their last 4 games played. As a matter of fact, tonight's game features the 2 highest scoring forwards on the power play, Mike Peluso for Vancouver and Brett Brightcruz for this Edmonton Oil King team. They've got the 8 seconds left. That's the good news about having some time left on the power play down, but they're starting off all the way back in their own zone.
Vinsor's pass, that goes off Redicke, and the Giants now back to full strength with the puck in deep. Here's Boma going in after it. Boma battling with Tervonen. Puck squirts free. It does come in front for a moment, but the Oil Kings are on it, and here they come out of their own zone. Vinsor's pass up for Redicke. That's broken up by Blum, but Vinsor follows it up. He'll try to get a shot. Protects the puck well on that far side. Still Vinsor with the puck, and now Blum goes in to collect the puck for Vancouver, and he coolly puts it right through the slot area where it was gobbled up by Fesenko, but his pass misses his man, and it's an icing on Vancouver.
Talked with Vinsor in between periods. Dan Elliott did, and after a very slow start, he's heating up. Dan, he had a 1 goal his first 9 games that he played this year for this hockey club, but he's got 5 in his last 5. And you saw a second ago, the thing that really jumped out at the Edmonton Oil King people when this kid came over as a 16-year-old last year, his physical play in traffic. He loves contact.
Lockerbie tries to cross ice pass to Dowd. Dowd gets it back to Pesic. Pesic tries to feed the other point, but nobody there as Lockerbie had tried to sneak in. Here's Pesic again. He'll shoot it back into Vancouver territory, and Sexsmith, who has not been busy, patrols the puck. Shoots it around the boards. Sexsmith, by the way, has 20 career regular season shutouts, and that ties him for #1 in the entire Western Hockey League. So far, he's only faced one shot here tonight. He made the save.
When I look at Brett Regner, Dan, I'm really happy about the fact that overagers do get picked in the NHL draft. In fact, 39 overagers were taken. Those are players that were not drafted during their draft year, and I think it's great news. You take a look at Zach Smith and Dale Weiss from Swift Current, Colin Long from Kelowna, Riley Grantham from Moose Jaw, all overage players that got picked in this year's draft, and it was Columbus that took Brett Regner.
Vancouver gets the puck out towards the neutral zone. Tinsor throws a check. Regner, who Bill just spoke about, plays across ice to Blum. Blum gets to the red line, shoots it in, comes around these near boards to Casey Pirro-Zabitol, but it went over top the stick. Shearer has possession. Craig Shearer has 5 goals this year. Mark Isherwood from Medicine Hat has 6. So Isherwood has the most among defensemen for goals. Shearer, #5 for Vancouver, with 5 goals, is #2.
Well, one of the big strengths of a guy like Craig Shearer as a 20-year-old is his defensive play. We talk about first step quickness. I don't know if there's anybody, certainly on Vancouver, that's got a quicker first step to the man with the puck in his own zone than Craig Shearer. He explodes into those puck carriers.
Tinsor gets possession off the face-off in the Edmonton zone. He got it out to center. Manning pokes it off the stick. Vancouver follows it up, and here they come in over the line. This is Kennedy going wide and taking a shot. That deflects and out of play. We'll get a face-off in the Edmonton zone.
Well, the guy you do want behind the bench if you are looking to establish any kind of grit, any kind of toughness is Rocky Thompson. What a nice acquisition he has been, and boy, what an amiable guy. Dan, your Sports Talk show going back to Vancouver, you had him on last time we were in this building, and frankly, I just couldn't get enough of his talk. He was very inspirational, wasn't he?
And lots of reaction on my radio show back in British Columbia. We did almost an hour with Rocky Thompson here last year, and his story is incredible.
Some of his fights are incredible, huh?
Yeah, I think they're all on YouTube.
Wow.
Many of them are. And Bill's a YouTube guy now. you're able to log on, apparently.
Pretty good. I'm getting there.
Off that Commodore 64, you've really made big strides.
Well, I updated my Windows 98 though.
That's good.
And this game eagerly awaits, as his crowd does, a goal by the Edmonton Oil Kings to get back in this thing. But 11-1 shots on goal. Unbelievable how difficult it is right there in that zone. There's somebody in your face at all times. You see how quickly that puck was taken away from Rhett Rashinsky? He thought he had more time.
Well, this is Vancouver's 5th road game, and on the road so far they've outscored their opponents 18-5. So the home team has only scored 5 times against Vancouver on the road this year. Kennedy puts the puck back at the net. Blum trying to pinch in. Didn't get the puck, but was able to force Edmonton to go behind their own net. And that almost created a turnover on this near side. Oil Kings do get it out to center. Regner back for Blum. He'll slap it back into Edmonton territory. Comes around these near boards. It's Brendan Gallagher. Now comes back to Blum. Blum's long shot. That deflects on the way. That's wide of the goal. Friesen plays it around the board. Can't get it out. Regner's long shot. That hit his own man. That was Henry, number 22. Had to go off his pads. Henry along these near boards trying to get the puck, but Edmonton gets it. Here they come out of their own zone. But no further than the blue line as it was poked off TJ Foster's stick. Foster in his first year from Slave Lake, Alberta.
And they make it look pretty easy, don't they? I mean, the defense that are on the blue line, like Neil Manning right there and Craig Shearer for Vancouver, it's just like they hang back there and they wait for the forwards to disrupt the offense coming out of their zone enough that they just dump it back in, or force the Edmonton Oil Kings to dump it into that zone. And what happens when you play quite a bit in your own zone? You dump it and you go for a line change, just like you see there.
There's Fisenko over the line. Long shot handled by Lanigan, and he juggled it, but he did hold on in his crease. We get a little pushing and shoving afterwards. Look at all those red shirts coming in there, and that second poke at a puck on any goalie at any level seems to create that kind of crowd.
Well, certainly you want to try to get a team out of their comfort zone. You take a look at the 21 goals that they've allowed. That's the best in the Western Hockey League. And I think one of the reasons is that you very seldom see a team like Vancouver, a team like Calgary, a team like Swift Current, all the good teams you see Boma going to the box, then they don't turn the puck over in the neutral ice area. And we talk about between the blue lines. And if you keep the puck moving forward instead of going east-west with the puck, you're not going to get many turnovers. And I think that's one of the secrets to keeping your goals against down, is to make sure that that doesn't happen.
And Bright Cruz also goes to the penalty box. So it'll be a 4-on-4 situation. It's early in the season, but the Giants have scored the most goals in their division despite playing fewer games. 54 is the most in the WHL, and their 21 against is the fewest in the WHL. They've already won 4 straight divisions, and they're already in first place this year. As Sheeran takes the shot, there's a loose puck for Casey Pirro-Zabitol, turns and takes the shot. Sheeran's shot, that deflects off the target. 4-on-4 hockey as they announce the roughing minors. Here's Sheeran, nice move at the line, cutting in, shooting it, that's blocked. And again, a turnover by Edmonton. Casey Pirro-Zabitol throws it in front. Kane can't get his stick on it. Kane and Casey Pirro-Zabitol out there. Not only are they 1-2 in scoring in the WHL, but they have points in every game the Giants have played. They have not had a point so far tonight. Those two just passing the puck back and forth to one another. Here's Sheeran moving in, and it rolls just wide of the net. Penalty coming up to Edmonton. There's going to be a 4-on-3 situation here, it looks like, as Manning faked his pass or fanned on it. Nonetheless, there's a centering pass that's picked off, and Edmonton touches it, and there'll be a cross-checking penalty, and Vancouver's going to have 4-on-3 advantage for over a minute.
Wow, you see off a face-off how quickly that the Giants do get that puck on the net, and they definitely get people attacking the net. Here it is. There's the face-off. Onto the net. Find the seam and get it through. There it is right there. Now, Pirro-Zabitol just can't get a stick on it, and they keep banging at it. Look at that continued pressure by the defense, and then the last rush up the ice, Sheeran trails the play beautifully, and that's where the penalty gets drawn. He shoots that puck wide. There's a cross-check by Lee, and Vancouver on that power play that you talk about right now.
James Wright to take the face-off, so 4-on-3. The face-off's, of course, very critical. Who comes up with the loose puck? And they are battling for it here. Edmonton working hard to try to get it, but they cannot. Here's Regner moving in. Regner with Blum. Blum will take the pass at the high slot now. We're on the far side. The shot that was taken there by Peluso ends up off the side of the goal. Here's Blum again. Blum moves in, holds, passes, Peluso back to Blum. First time shot, stop, big rebound, comes all the way back out to Blum. Blum again, moves in. Here's Regner. Blum, Peluso, shot, knocked down right. Number 19 for Vancouver trying to get his stick on it from back of the goal. Cannot, not for a moment, then he does, and then his backhand goes through the other side and wide of the goal. And it's sent down the ice by the Oil Kings with 14 seconds left on the 4-on-3. Vancouver quickly headmans the puck. Blum, so poised with the puck. Blum plays it off. There's Casey Pirro-Zabitol back to Blum. Kane can't take the high pass, but he does get the puck back of the net. It's now 5-on-4. First penalties are over. Blum, shot, too high. Casey Pirro-Zabitol. Now Pesic falls on the puck, squirts free, and Bright Cruz will come out for Edmonton. Bright Cruz plays it over here for Dowd. Went off his stick. Half minute still remaining on the Vancouver power play. Pirro-Zabitol brings it in over the line. Kane heads to the net. Pirro-Zabitol picks up Blum. Blum tried to hard pass. Misses his man, and the Oil Kings get it and shoot it down the ice. The shots are 6-0 in this period. 16-1 in the hockey game. 2-0. Vancouver leads it. Both the goals in the opening period. Power play nearing an end. Lee getting set to come back on in 4 more seconds, but Shearer first from the point. His shot goes wide. Berube puts it behind the net. Vancouver now 0 for 2 with the man advantage. Fisenko put it back to the net. Adam Basford chasing after the puck, cannot come up with it. Travonen gets it out to the neutral zone, and Gary Nunn has it. Over to Berube. Berube, his lead pass for Basford went off his skates. Here's Berube. Now lead pass again. Here's Vasenko in over the line, but they're offside.
Terrific hit right along the wall in the offensive zone by Vancouver. How tough is it coming out of your own zone, especially if you've got your head down, you're not too sure exactly who's pinching? That's a pretty good pinch by Shira. Look at the support. Coming back to support that pinch, you have to have a forward to come back to control that puck, and Shira knows that he can go in deep and make that hit. You've got somebody backing you up.
Oil Kings win the face-off. Mark Pesek has it, shoots it in, but he was on his own side of center, so it's icing called on Edmonton.
One guy that Vancouver hasn't seen an awful lot of this year, 6'3", 212-pound Todd Kennedy. He's from Kamloops. He went to Regina last year in the middle of the season from Nanaimo, the BC Hockey League, and Scott Bonner added this guy because they figured they needed some toughness, they needed some big size, and this is a guy that will play that kind of game for them. Well, you know, Dan, right now, I mean, it is 2-0. You're being outshot badly, 16-1, but there's a penalty call off as soon as that puck was dropped.
Looks like a Vancouver penalty in the offensive zone for hooking. It's Cunningham going to the ice. I know what your thought process is. You're badly outshot. It's 16-1. Yet the score only reads 2-0, and you're about to now go on a power play to get back in the hockey game.
Well, as long as you hang around, you sometimes think you see the hook by Cunningham trying to give the shooter Manning some space. Sometimes you think your team hangs around long enough to get a three-pointer at the end to beat you.
The Vancouver Giants penalty to number 14, Craig Cunningham. 2 minutes for hooking. Time of the penalty.
So Edmonton's power play, number 9 in the Western Hockey League, has 15 power play goals this year on 77 chances coming into the game. Vancouver's penalty kill is 4th. They've allowed 8 goals while shorthanded on 62 tries so far this season.
That was a 20-minute shift for Vancouver on the penalty kill, and all 4 of the guys got off the ice. You got new troops out there.
22nd shift.
22nd.
Yeah, that'd be a long shift, the 20-minute one. Here's Wright in over the line. Wright puts the puck back at the goal. Here's Berube putting it again behind the net, and this time it's controlled by Brent Redicke. Redicke coming out, up for Vinsor. Vinsor gets it over to Halukov, who sends it in. Around these near boards, Berube batting the puck out of the air a couple of times, plays a little ping pong with it, and he chases it into that far corner. Vinsor in there as well. Who's going to come up with the puck? Good shift here by Berube. Look at the work number 4 White is doing for Vancouver, and he is solely responsible for Vancouver getting possession. 3 red shirts on him. He came up with the loose puck, fed it away, and now Edmonton goes all the way back into their own zone. We're halfway through the second period in the hockey game. 2-0 Vancouver, but there's still a half minute remaining in the power play as Bright Cruz gets the puck back. Bright Cruz has 5 power play goals. That's him with the puck right now. Maybe a give and go, and he had the pass there. Just go over top his stick. That was the right idea. Comiskey wanted to feed Bright Cruz on the quick give and go. And here's a chance here for Comiskey cutting in for Bright Cruz, and it's in his skates. He couldn't get a clear shot away. Comiskey, unselfish play as he tried to find Bright Cruz in front of the net. He had a chance also to shoot the puck. Comiskey did. Unfortunately for the Oil Kings, that pass too hard for Bright Cruz to handle. There's a centering pass. Dowd trying to chase it. Pesek has it now. Vancouver back at full strength. Edmonton 0 for 2 with the man advantage. Nice move by Pesek in front of the net. And his shot, a pass for Dowd just could not be handled. Oil Kings putting on their best pressure of the hockey game here. They're not getting any shots, but they got a couple of chances. Here is Nunn in over the line. His shot from the far boards is wide. Wright comes up with the loose puck, at least for a moment. Nunn in there to try to help out. Bright Cruz for Edmonton, also trying to dig it out. And finally rolls to Bright Cruz, gets it out to center. Berube breaks it up momentarily at least. Oil Kings put it back into Berube's possession, who feeds Shira on the far side. Shira over to Berube, now he has some room as he stick handles out of his own zone. Plays it over to the far side, and the Giants will send it in deep in Edmonton territory. first of 2 meetings this year between these two clubs. The Giants will be back here in January. There's a chance again for Edmonton, and Sexsmith makes his second save of the hockey game. That one on Michael Burns on a backhand. There's been a couple of chances for Edmonton in this period, but now just 2 shots on goal. The score, Vancouver 2, Edmonton no score. You're watching the Western Hockey League from Northern Alberta on Shaw. Back in Edmonton, we have the head coach of the Vancouver Giants, Don Hay. Your thoughts so far in the first half of the hockey game, Don?
Well, I thought, you know, we're playing really well defensively. We're not giving up a lot. They're not getting any scoring chances. And, you know, I think that we really have to push here to get the next goal. I think the next goal will be a big factor in the game.
Vasenko, 2 goals, Don. That's a pretty big night for him so far.
Well, it is a big night because he doesn't usually shoot the puck. So for him to shoot the puck, I think it's what we want from him.
Thanks, Don. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, guys.
Don Hay, head coach of the Giants. Vasenko with both goals. And just the 2 shots allowed so far. He just referred to their defensive play, but he does think the next goal is a big one. And you know if Edmonton gets it, it'll bring them some life here, Bill.
No question. They've had flurries. They've had spurts. They've had probably 4 or 5 minutes. They've been actually quite dangerous in this hockey game.
Miro Zavital now to Kane, trying to get in behind Lockerbie. Kane goes to the net, rolls it in front. Flanagan steers it aside. And now the Oil Kings get it out. Lee eliminated by Berube as he rolls it back into the Vancouver zone. Shira now to Berube, almost has trouble. Well, does have a little trouble, recovers. Vinsor gets the puck, nice pass. Here's a high shot, out of play. Too high, I'm not sure if a stick got in front of Redicke's shot or not. But it's coming outside the blue line, so that indicates Redicke's shot just went right up into the mesh.
Don Hay was telling us earlier that one of the biggest adjustments Piero Zavital had to make to the Western Hockey League from the BC Hockey League was not to pace himself. He says you get a rest when you're on the bench, right where you are now. But, you know, when he had the success he did with Merritt in the BC Hockey League, he was able to take that time on the ice to make sure that he was able to go hard when the situation called for it. But he won't put up with that.
The whole Giants team is rather well rested. They've been off for a week. They had a very rare entire weekend off. You don't get that in the WHL very often. They played last Wednesday night, and they lost the last of a 5-game homestand in the shootout as Edmonton's called for icing.
Well, we'll show you the standings in the Central Division here. And, you know, if we take a look at what the Edmonton Oil Kings did last year, after 14 games, they had 5 wins, 8 losses, and 1 overtime loss. What does that make it? That makes it 11 points. Well, they've got 11 points this year. They're 5, 6, 1, and 2. So 5 wins last year after 14, 5 wins this year after 14. The key, though, is they're very, very different. I think last year they prided themselves on working really hard without the puck.
Vancouver with it at the blue line, a long shot that is knocked down. Giants on the turnover, coming up with a loose puck. There's a backhand shot turned aside by Lanigan. And the Oil Kings are out of their own zone. 7 minutes left in the second period. Both goals scored in the opening period. Vancouver still leading by 2. We had a Shaw telecast from Kootenay in September. This is our second Shaw telecast. Our entire schedule really gets going, the bulk of it, in mid-November, and then we're on at least once a week, if not twice, through till the end of the playoffs. Our next telecast in mid-November, and that'll be a Kelowna-Vancouver game. So we've got lots and lots of great matchups starting in mid-November all the way through. Here comes Vancouver's Bastford. His shot over top the goal. Now it's controlled by Friesen as he plays it along these near boards. Giants trying to come up with a loose puck with Nunn and Wright on this near side. They cannot. Nygam has it. Nygam alongside Burns.
What a traffic jam.
No kidding. And here's Wright out of that jam, taking the shot, easily turned aside by Lanigan. Another turnover at the blue line as Nunn got his stick to break up that pass. Friesen plays it over to Pearson. Jesse Pearson having a little trouble in that traffic on his near side, so they'll try the other way, and Friesen with it. His long pass bounces high into the Vancouver zone. Manning collects it. Manning will play across ice, and the Giants try the stretch pass, but it misses Kane, and it's icing called on Vancouver.
Well, what do you do when you've only had 2 shots on you so far in this hockey game? You know, sometimes if you're not very busy, you watch the puck in the other end. I've heard goaltending coaches talk about this. and you see what you would do as the puck is in the other end. You say, well, okay, how would I handle that situation? How would I play it if it was in my end? But Tyson Sexsmith, you know, there's been many guys that have said, you know, how good a goaltender is he? Well, I'll tell you, he's good. He's got a Memorial Cup. He's a National Hockey League draft. He's got 105 wins. But, Dad, you sometimes don't get the best rating on him. You and I were talking about that earlier. His record speaks for itself. There's no doubt about it. But I've never seen a situation in the Western Hockey League where a guy has played so much goal and had that kind of record. You're not positive.
Ooh, Vinsor looking for the far corner, didn't miss by much. Well, you were saying that he did make his third save on a long shot by Redicke. And then Vinsor with an opportunity there, one of the better chances, just put the puck wide. Looking for that far corner. Puck broken up in the neutral zone. Kane has it. Kane with Peluso. That's broken up nicely by Pesic. Pesic's played well for Edmonton here tonight. Redicke brings it in over the line. It's broken up. Long lead pass. Gobbled up by Gallagher. His shot scores! Brendan Gallagher fools Lanigan with the shot. Gallagher, a 16-year-old, beats Lanigan, a 16-year-old. 3-0 Giants.
This kid is nothing but dynamic. All the way back in their own zone. Berube with the breakout pass. They get it wide. This guy can fly. That puck is on end when he shoots it. But this kid Gallagher, what a special player he is. He's on the BC team list for the World Under-17 tournament at Alberni at Christmas. And you know what? He's going to make that club. You see his third goal of the season. Don Hay talks about him as really understanding the game well. And you know what? He puts his mind to it. What a shot off that right wing.
A goal and an assist so far tonight for Gallagher. Just the one assist as Berube started the play from the back end. Here's Gallagher again on this backhand, trying to get a shot, and it's high. And I'm not sure Lanigan saw that one. As Gallagher this time waited for a little bit of traffic. So Gallagher is scoring the goal at 15 minutes and 14 seconds of this second period. And that makes it 3-0 for Vancouver as Boma tries one from a sharp angle. Boma gets the puck again. Here's Blum. His shot. That's knocked down. Oil Kings trying to break the other way, but Regner hustles over to break it up, and it goes to Cunningham. Cunningham again on the far side. Nice pass to Boma as they bring it in 2-on-2. Boma tries a long shot. That goes wide. There's another shot on Lanigan as Vancouver senses here that Edmonton might be wilting a little bit after that goal, and Vancouver's so impressive on their bump-up shifts, and they get a couple of them. Here's the goal again, I guess, Bill.
You know, that puck is shot off the wing, and there's no doubt that it was on edge. If we can maybe look at it one more time from a tight shot, you'll see the puck on end, and I'll tell you, so help me, that's it. Watch it, watch it, watch it stand up. Just when he goes to shoot it, there.
It is, yeah.
Now that puck is going to do all kinds of different things, and if you're trying to get that with your glove hand, and it dips on you, there's no doubt you're going to have a problem with it, and Lanigan did.
Here comes Bright Cruz in over the line, poked off his stick, but he gets it back again. Manning and Bright Cruz battling. Bright Cruz protects the puck, throws it into the crease, and Sexsmith has it. And he'll dive on it, and we get a little bit of a meeting again. Pushing and shoving. But a face-off will come into the Vancouver zone.
This Bright Cruz has definitely been an active player for this team. We talked about leading this team in scoring, and you know, the only Oil King win in their last 7 games was an overtime winner against Brandon. A beautiful 3-on-2 that this kid executed beautifully. He took a drop pass on a 4-on-4 situation and wired it in the top net of the Brandon net, and he got the winning goal, and that's really been the only win this team has had in this 6-game homestand for the Oil Kings that ends tonight.
Vancouver wins a face-off in their own zone, and out they come with Lance Boma. Boma going wide, still with possession, going hard. He's taken down. He goes right to the net as he was taken down. There'll be a penalty on Edmonton.
Lance Boma, the 16th of 37 Western Hockey League players taken in the draft, the NHL draft last year. The boards have never slowed this guy down. He blows right past the defender there, goes hard to the net. He's hacked down as he's taken that puck to the net. Boy, you know those posts are going to likely be a collision between you and the post, but he draws a penalty. Vancouver on the power play.
Third power play of the hockey game for Vancouver. They do win a face-off. They're 0 for 2 with a man advantage as Regner Dumps it back to the net. Pesic gets it first. Checked off the puck and rolls right into the net. Evander Kane scores as Pesic had trouble back at the goal. He was just literally forced off the puck, and then it was centered, and Kane, Johnny on the spot, makes it 4-0 for Vancouver, and Kane's point streak continues. He has points in every game this year.
I think Peluso does a lot of work on this 16 white. There's the forecheck by Piero Zavital. There's two guys in it. Your line mates are in that area. You get two line mates again at the back wall, Dan. Watch this. The puck comes off the back. This is 3 of the goals that have come from that area right there. And if you are slow covering guys in front of the net, Pesic with the trouble, Peluso with the forecheck, the little tap right there by Piero Zavital, and Kane in a nice area in front of the net with no coverage to really take his stick off the ice. He bats it home for the Vancouver Giants.
So Kane gets his 10th of the year. Piero Zavital in on the goal as well, as Bill said. So each now have points in every game this year. Each have been named player of the week this year. Kane is first in overall scoring, second in goals scored, second in assists. Piero Zavital first in assists. I mean, these guys, they are just all over the net this year. But give credit to Peluso as well, because he did a great job on the end boards. And I suppose this player with the puck deserves credit too. Boma drew the penalty that put Vancouver on the power play in the first place. So a 4-0 Vancouver lead. Vancouver has as many goals as Edmonton has shots on goal in the hockey game. Shots are 24-4. Bright Cruz has it poked off his stick. Last year, these two teams met once, and Vancouver won that game 7-0. So the Oil Kings are still looking for their first ever goal against the Vancouver Giants. Regner's shot misses the far corner, rattles off those backboards all the way to Shira.
And in that 7-0 game, it was Sexsmith in goal, and he was perfect, 23 of 23. But tonight, he's only had the 4 shots, saved them all. You want lots of scoring. This Edmonton homestand, Dan, 5 games played. There's been 48 goals scored.
Wow.
I'll do the math for you. 9.6 average combined goals. But tonight, Edmonton at this point, really with only the 4 shots on goal, have really not been close.
And goals against was a theme heading into this game, because in the last 7 games, the Oil Kings have played, they've allowed 5 or more each of those games, and they've already allowed 4 here tonight.
Well, you can see the offense is there. They do have some creativity. They've got guys that are dangerous around the net. But it's amazing that 3 of the 4 goals Vancouver has scored have come off passes off the back wall to the front of the net area. And that's usually a pretty good sign that your head is not on a swivel.
Vancouver smelling some more blood here as they get a chance in the slot area, and fanning on it was right. He was already kind of looking where on that net he wanted to put it, and it just rolled off his stick. We're in the final minute of the second period, none from back of the goal, can't get it. Raczynski has it, and he got it out and down the ice. But they wave off the icing, and Berube goes back to collect the puck. Ran into a check as it goes down the ice. It hit an Edmonton player on the way, so again, no icing. Play continuing. Pesic trying to protect the puck back of the net. Be able to do just that. Redicke will come out. 22 seconds to go in the period. He's forced back. Redicke is. Plays it over here to Pesic again. Lockerby getting it to Pesic. Now here's Vinsor. Vinsor gets the puck up. And now in over the blue line is Redicke. His shot, that's right on. Brent Redicke gets that shot. Sexsmith turns it aside. And that will do it for this period. Well, 2 more goals for Vancouver in the second, Bill. 14 more shots on the shot clock. I guess the only good news for the Oil Kings is they were able to get 4 shots on goal that period compared to 1 in the first.
Yeah, but you're still in such a hole, isn't it? It's incredible, and we talk so much about the taking a lead into the third period. Well, you know, even in that expansion season last year, the Oil Kings were 17-1-1. 19 times they took a lead into the third period, and they won 17 of those 19 games. And you know, that's that's what you're striving to do after 40 minutes. But guess what? They haven't led after 40 minutes one time this season, and they're down 4-0 to a pretty good Vancouver team.
Just before we go down to Dan Elliott, what about Peluso's role in that big line? I mean, I know Kane and Piero Zabatal getting a lot of credit, but Peluso's really stepped up here and been a great third member of that line.
You know, he is so good at jumping on loose pucks that are around the net. That's the important thing that he does. He does find loose pucks, and he is the unsung hero of that line, no question about it.
All right, now we're ready for Dan Elliott down at ice level.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. I'm joined by the captain of the Vancouver Giants, Jonathan Blum. John, you know what? 4 shots through 2 periods of play that you guys have given up. I know you have 4 goals, but you probably take a lot more pride in the fact that you're suffocating this team once again.
Yeah, anytime we kick up 4 shots, you know, we're having a really good defensive game, and that's what we pride ourselves on here in Vancouver. If we can shut teams down and check them, the offense is going to come, and you know, you guys driving to the net, we score off the power play next shift. So, you know, little things like that really add up.
Everybody talked about this being an off year for the Giants. You guys haven't lost in regulation. It looks like you just haven't missed the beat once again.
No, not at all. I think, you know, guys are really buying into Don's system, and I think, you know, that's why we're winning. And whenever you come off championships team, the expectations are there, and you know, it's hard to keep them up, but we work hard every day, so it gives us a chance to win.
A little more expectations from you this year. You're wearing the C this year. What's it been like for you being the team captain?
Oh, you know, it's a great honor to wear the captain and to lead this group of guys. We've got a great group of guys, and you know, the assistants are there for me, and you know, just overall, we got a good group, and we really love coming to the rink every day and working hard.
Thanks for doing this, and best of luck in the final period.
Thank you.
All right, Jonathan Blum, the captain of the Vancouver Giants. Stick around. Coming up in the second intermission, we have a feature on Oil Kings blue liner Mark Pysyk. Plus, we'll also check in on the new assistant coach for the Vancouver Giants. That, of course, would be Chad Scarf. That's all coming up on WHL Hockey on Shaw. Some future Oil Kings or Giants showing off their skills. Welcome back to WHL Hockey on Shaw. The Vancouver Giants leading the Edmonton Oil Kings 4-0 through 2 periods of play. 2 goals in that second period. Brendan Gallagher getting his 3rd of the season. And Evander Kane on the power play, his 10th. Yes, he is the league leader in scoring so far this year in the WHL. Now, when it comes to the Edmonton Oil Kings, they don't have a ton of WHL experience. What they do have, though, is a wealth of young talent. They have 5 16-year-olds and 6 17-year-olds in their lineup. One of those guys is blue liner Mark Pysyk, who will be given every opportunity this year to prove that he belongs in the dub.
Imagine playing for the first time under the big scoreboard at Rexall Place. Oilers championship banners overhead, perhaps even facing a defenseman you've idolized for the first time.
Tough to stand on your skates, they're kind of shaking, and you look across the blue line, there's Olsner standing across there. Ooh, uh-oh. It's kind of scary, but.
For 16-year-old defenseman Mark Pysyk, life in the WHL is working out just fine.
Mark's got a lot of skill, tremendous poise. He's wise for his age. So, you know, we're going to play him. He's going to experience it through playing, making mistakes on the ice. It's our responsibility to teach him and make sure he's got confidence.
The former Sherwood Park midget star put a lot of work in on and off the ice over the summer.
Worked out, got a little bigger, stronger. Last year I felt a little, obviously, smaller than everybody, getting pushed around a little. This year I feel like I'm more into it, holding my own a little bit better.
He's got great hockey sense, which no matter where you are in your career, it's always going to help. You know, he's a committed kid. He wants to be a pro, and that's what we want from him.
One of Rocky Thompson's roles as an assistant coach is to work closely with the defenseman. Pysyk shows a lot of poise for a kid so young.
Defensively speaking, he's been excellent. He's very smart. He learns our system. He executed very well. He's played great on the penalty kill. His defensive side of the game is really good. We're trying to bring out some more offense out of him. We want to encourage him. He's so gifted when he has the puck.
There's just always feedback instantly. We watch video and stuff. He's just always there for us, and he's always very knowledgeable about the game.
Pysyk is the youngest player on the team. That doesn't mean you treat him any different.
You don't treat him any differently. If he needs a kick in the butt, you give him a kick in the butt. If he needs a pat on the back, you give him a pat on the back. And, you know, whether it's from me or his peers, that's how we treat each other on this team, and nobody's any different.
The Salisbury High School student knows he has a lot to work on to take his game to the next level.
Getting a better shot. I mean, when I'm out there, I mean, get the shots through as quick as I can, but I think they need to get a lot harder, and foot speed as well. That's always, can always work on that.
Skating on Oilers ice a bit intimidating for Pysyk. However, there's no place else he'd rather be. Kevin Verreault, Shaw TV, Capital Region.
Thanks to Kevin Verreault for that story. All right, coming up after the break, we'll introduce you to the newest member of the Giants coaching staff, Chad Scarf. The Giants leading the Edmonton Oil Kings 4-0 after 2 periods of play. The Vancouver Giants are 20 minutes away from their 8th win of the season. They lead the Edmonton Oil Kings 4-0 after 2 periods of play, outshooting Edmonton 24-5 in the first 40 minutes. Now, the final pick of the Vancouver Giants' inaugural Bantam draft way back in 2001 was a stay-at-home defenseman from Airdrie, Alberta. His name, Chad Scarf. He went on to play parts of 5 seasons with the Giants, highlighted by his trip to the Memorial Cup in 2006. Now, after his playing career was over, he wanted to stay in the game. Last year, he became a part-time scout for the Giants, and this year, when Craig Bonner left to become the GM of the Kamloops Blazers, the assistant coaching job opened up in Vancouver, and head coach Don Hay did not hesitate to name his former player as his newest assistant.
Chad Scarf is one of those versatile players for Vancouver.
And that versatility has helped this Alberta native parlay his experience as a player into a new role as assistant coach. Woo! At 22 years old, Chad says his age, if anything, helps by allowing him to relate to the rest of the players.
I was kind of a coach as a player as well. You know, I always like to help out the younger guys as a player, and you know, I always like to analyze the other teams and see what they were doing.
5 years as a player between 2002 and 2007 made Chad a logical choice for the job.
We really thought highly of him, and he's always shown a lot of character, and he showed the ability to make good decisions. So, you know, we just thought it was a good fit because of his experience with us, and that our knowledge of him as a young man and a young person.
He knows how the team thinks, how it plays, but most importantly, he's forged a trust with the players that serves as a linchpin for a cohesive team.
Well, I think I'm just a guy that, you know, younger guys can come talk to, any of the players can come talk to if they're having any problems. You know, sometimes it can be intimidating to go talk to the head coach or the general manager, and you know, I'm kind of a guy that players can look to as, you know, they can go talk to me.
Attaboy, Jay, attaboy! You learn every game from him, and he learns every game from us. You know, we have a lot of open door, you know, relationship discussions we have, you know, talking about games and what we could do better to be as better as a group of defensemen.
Vancouver wins their very first WHL championship.
At 20, the Giants let go of Chad because of his age, but he didn't leave the organization completely. He returned to Alberta as a scout.
When you've spent so long with an organization, it's a tough process to get over. I mean, it hits you by surprise, and you know, when that happened, I really sat down and asked myself if I could put in a commitment with another team.
Next line, ready, next line!
When the job of assistant coach opened up, it was a no-brainer for Chad, who's come to love the West Coast.
I'm loyal to the Giants. I always will be, always have been, and I couldn't ask for a better organization to do it.
And here's the great celebration.
With the Giants as well, Chad has already tasted victory. He was part of the winning squad that won the WHL championships in 2006.
Well, I should mention off the top, we talked about it being Wiener Wednesday. Every Wednesday here at Rexall Place for junior hockey, they sell $2 hot dogs. Now, to promote the event, they brought in Joey Chestnut, who's the world competitive eating champion. This is the guy who ate 66 hot dogs in 12 minutes at Nathan's famous hot dog contest. In fact, he came here last week and ate, well, only 23 hot dogs in 5 minutes. But last month, hot dogs isn't the only thing. He ate 45 slices of pizza in one sitting. I'd like to see a couple of these players try and do that. Well, let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here tonight in the WHL. The Saskatoon Blades looking for their 9th straight victory. They are on fire right now. They lead Portland 2-1 at this point of time, out shooting the Winterhawks 20-9. Prince Albert is up 3-0 on Moose Jaw in the second period of play. Matt Robertson has got a pair of goals. Ryan McDonald with 2 assists. Elsewhere, Calgary is doubling up Red Deer 4-2 this game in the second intermission. Kyle Boris with a goal and assist. Brennan Sawney with 2 helpers. It is Medicine Hat leading Prince George 4-2 this game in the second intermission. Tyler Ennis has a goal and 2 assists. Tristan King with a pair of helpers in the lead so far. Elsewhere, Kamloops leading Seattle 1-0. Jake Trask has got his first WHL goal for the Blazers, and his Kelowna up 3-0 on Chilliwack. Colin Long has got a goal and assist, and Jamie Benn has got a goal and 2 helpers. All right, that does it for us downstairs here at Rexall Place. Time to send it upstairs to Dan and Bill, get their thoughts through 40 minutes of play.
Before you leave, Dan, I mean, your nickname is Jumbo. Have you had a Jumbo dog here tonight or no?
I haven't got there. Hopefully I will track one down before the night is over.
Well, 3 as a matter of fact. 1 for you and a couple up here wouldn't be bad.
Absolutely. I'll look out for you guys.
Hey, Dan, is it true they're $2 tonight?
That is the deal. You bet.
Yeah.
Wiener Wednesday.
You can't go wrong.
All right.
All right. The Edmonton Oil Kings, Bill, let's talk about a couple of things they've accomplished so far in a year and change.
Well, let's say start with 13 home wins. How about 22 total wins? Not bad. The only one time, Dan, they had a 7-game losing streak. That's it. No more than a 7-game losing streak. And you know expansion teams can really struggle. They lost 18 one-goal games last year. As far as I'm concerned, and talking with General Manager Bob Green, they laid a wonderful foundation last year. I don't think you could do much better than that. I don't think anybody's happy with what's happened so far this season. They expected more defensively.
Yeah, well, they've addressed goaltending today. Torrey John, we haven't had time really to develop that. Maybe we will in the third period, but that might help a little bit.
Well, when you talk to people that say there's just too many goals that are going in, not tonight necessarily, but that are backbreakers where you work so hard and you end up, your goaltender he's got to bail you out. He's got to make those saves. And boy, nothing's as deflating as easy goals.
All right, let's look at the highlights of the second period. Remember, Vancouver had 2 goals in the first period, 2 more, Bill, in the second.
And again, it's the quickness, it's the forecheck, it's getting to those kind of pucks like in that zone right there, getting shots through. Follow a good play up there with another good play. Craig Shearer with the shot. This is Shearer now on the line rush up the ice. He joins the rush. And again, just good work protecting that puck. Maybe the best chance Edmonton had right there. They just weren't able to really convert simply because of pretty good coverage. Gallagher takes a feed for Berube up that right side, shoots a puck that's rolling. And watch how quickly the Pez line goes to work there. Behind the net, it's Peluso. It's Zabatel. The pass to the front of the net. Dan, I talked about Evander Kane. You give him that area in front of the net, you're going to be facing off at center every time.
2 goals. Look at the shots on goal. 24 for Vancouver, just 5 for Edmonton through 2 periods of play. Gallagher and Kane scoring in the second period. We're all set for period number 3. It's on the other side of the break here in Edmonton. It's the Giants 4, the Oil Kings nothing. You're watching the Western Hockey League on Shaw. Back in Edmonton, Dan Russell alongside Bill Wilms. It's the WHL on Shaw, 4-0 Giants lead. They have the top 10 rankings in the CHL. Vancouver Giants have already cracked the top 10, and we're going to look at those in just a moment as you look at Tyson Sexsmith, and there's Rocky Thompson, assistant coach of Edmonton and his Oil Kings. Spokane, the defending Memorial Cup champs, right up there at number 4. The Hitmen off to a great start as well. Can't wait to see Calgary this year. And the Vancouver Giants at number 7. And just before we go any further, the Western Hockey League, hats off, by the way, to Trevor Linden. The Western Hockey League has an alumni award, and this week they selected Trevor Linden as this year's recipient. Trevor Linden scored 62 goals and 148 points with the Medicine Hat Tigers. He's going to have his jersey retired as a Vancouver Canuck in December. And I do note, and I'm sure Vancouver Canuck fans would note this too, that'll be the second jersey retired, Bill, in both former Western Hockey Leaguers, Smeal and Linden.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? And yet they seem to stay away from drafting WHLers. I don't quite get it.
There's a shortage of them in the minds of many on that roster, but not certainly throughout the National Hockey League. Here's Boma in over the blue line, getting a little bit of room. Boma going in, and then taken out at the end by Pesic. Good job by Pesic to come over to break that up. Here's Shearer at the blue line. His shot, that's knocked down. Pesic backhands the puck towards the line. And now with Vancouver making a change, Edmonton's Jesse Pearson able to get possession, and out he comes. Pearson gets the center, tries to shoot it in. It was blocked at the Vancouver blue line, and the Giants come up with possession. Lee knocks over Casey Piero-Zabatal. Fans respond to that as Shira gets the puck back at the net. To Canaling to get a little bit of room, plays along these near boards. Trying to pinch in there is Tyler Hulukov. He got the puck towards the goal. Sexsmith turning it away. Lee jumps on it, throws it through the goal mouth area. Nobody there. Kane tips it out to center. And the Giants, Piero-Zabatal follows it up, and here he comes. It's a 2-on-4, however. 4 Oil Kings back, but still Casey Piero-Zabatal able to take a swat at the puck. And goalkeeper Lanigan able to make the save.
Well, there's an award that goes to the Scholastic Player of the Year, Neil Manning for Vancouver, and Shane Nygam got the award last year for the Edmonton Oil Kings. And how about that scholarship program, Dan? 246 Western Hockey League scholarships awarded for the 08-09 school year. Now get this, 57 different post-secondary institutions across North America. Yes, North America, you can go anywhere in that scholarship program. Since 1993, that's the last 15 years, there's been 3,000 plus scholarships worth over $9 million. Wow. And again, kudos to the Western Hockey League. You know, we've been told this now by different managers in the league. It really doesn't matter where you play in the Western Hockey League. All you kids up there, no matter where you're drafted, you're going to get a great scholarship program, you're going to get excellent radio and TV coverage, and you're going to play in the best hockey league producing for the NHL that you can possibly play in. And again, way to go, WHL scholarship program.
On that last shift, Evander Kane was shaken up. He's being looked at by Corey Cameron, the Vancouver trainer. Back for the last minute or two, Kane has been at the edge of the bench, or the far end of one side of the bench, and the trainer continues to work on Evander Kane. We'll try to find out where he might have got shaken up. Meantime, the Oil Kings trying to break free. There's Prue on the far boards. Back he goes to Pesic. Pesic moving in. Plays it down the boards. Prue trying to get loose in the slot area. Could not. Poked by Kennedy out towards the line. Kennedy with a couple of chances to get it out. Could not. On the other hand, Edmonton not gaining any ground as well. 2nd and 9, it looks like, for Edmonton over there as they gained a yard. And the puck finally is frozen, and we'll get a face-off somewhere there in the neutral zone.
Have a look and see if we can see where Evander Kane does get hurt. You know, he goes where the traffic is. He's going to try to split the defense. That's him right there, number 9, White. He stays with it. He's been hurt at that point. He really doesn't show it till right there as you see him bend over, but as long as that puck was alive, he wasn't going to give up on it. Looked like a slash on the wrist, and Corey Cameron, trainer for the Vancouver Giants, taking a look at that right now.
Meantime, Edmonton wins a face-off in the offensive zone. They put it towards the front of the net, but it's broken up. Didn't reach the goal, and Regner plays it over here to Jonathan Blum. Blum's pass nearly picked off there by Tervonen. Here's a break, though, for Cunningham right in, and he scores! What a move! Craig Cunningham makes it 5-0. Cunningham very shifty on that breakaway goal. Great finish.
Look at the start to the play. I want you to watch the play out of their own zone, and then I want you to see what Lance Boma does to keep that puck alive. Watch it. He'll dive for it. There he is, just to push it ahead. Cunningham says, thank you very much. Beautiful fake, beautiful deke, upstairs backhand. But it's that push right there by Lance Boma. I mean, the kid, that Boma just amazes me. He's down on the ice there, watching from his stomach as Cunningham makes it 5-0 Vancouver.
Cunningham with a goal and assist. Boma has 2 assists. Gallagher has a goal and an assist. The first period was dominated by Fasenko with 2 goals. I mean, it's really spread out here tonight. As you hear the announcement on the 5th goal by the Giants, Cunningham getting his 2nd of the season. Kennedy will get the 2nd assist, but as Bill said, it was the play by Bowman that really is the power point there as far as the assists are concerned. But great finish by Cunningham as well. So it's another night when Edmonton allows 5 goals or more. I don't know if I've ever seen that in recent years, Bill. That's 8 straight games that a team has allowed 5 or more goals. That doesn't happen in today's hockey, and they might allow more here. Here comes Kane off the bench, seemingly okay as he puts the puck in front for Peluso. Peluso can't come up with it.
Jesse Pearson, good job at recognizing that pass was going to go cross crease in that area. Did a nice job of deflecting it in the corner.
You know, you think about the Oil Kings, they're only in their 2nd year. You think of the growing pains at Vancouver. It wasn't that long ago, Bill. I mean, this is the 8th season for Vancouver. Now, they've accomplished more than probably most expansion teams could ever hope for. When you consider, you know, they came in at the beginning of this decade. Memorial Cup, a WHL title, all those division titles. But Edmonton getting a first-hand look tonight about a model expansion franchise. No, they're not expansion anymore, but from the moment they came in the Western Hockey League, their plan has paid off and been seemingly as solid an expansion plan as we've seen in any sport.
And you know, you just go back a couple more years before that, and the Calgary Hitmen were so good at that, modeling that expansion franchise. They went to the Memorial Cup in '99.
Whoop, here's a giveaway and a chance for the Oil Kings. Going in hard there was Prue, but he couldn't get the backhand shot on the net. That was a good opportunity. Now here's Gallagher trying to squirt free. Hustling over there is Friesen. Puck squirts out to the neutral zone. 5-0 Vancouver. Shots are now 26-7. 2 each here in the 3rd period. Puck put into that Edmonton zone, gobbled up there by Sudek. Robin Sudek is from the Czech Republic. Hasn't played much tonight. 17-year-old. In the neutral zone, it's now Tervonen. Blum. Here's Lee now. Lee going in wide. Blum staying with them. And Cunningham comes to get the loose puck. Can't get it out. Vinsor rolls it to the corner. There's Regner with the puck. Regner is from 90 minutes in this building in Newbrook here in Alberta. Lots of friends and family here. In fact, the Giants tell us that their families have rented a couple of the luxury suites here. You don't get that many of the buildings, but a couple of luxury suites have been rented by Vancouver parents to see their kids here on the prairies.
Yeah, it must be a ton of fun. Hey, Logan Prue has scored 1 goal this year, and that's a penalty shot goal. That's him right there. He had a penalty shot last year. You can see with that kind of speed, taking that puck to the outside, that the 17-year-old from Trail is going to draw some attention and will draw possible hooks or plays when he's in the clear. That may be one of the lone bright spots, and there haven't been very many for the Edmonton Oil Kings this evening here tonight. But that kid is quick. I liked his acceleration and taking that puck wide.
Now here's Evander Kane from back at the goal. Couldn't get his stick on it cleanly. Oil Kings out of their own zone. Here comes Comiskey. Rolls into the Vancouver zone. Friesen off the boards. Now his centering pass for Comiskey. Broken up and shot out to center ice. Peluso trying to get loose. Goes all the way back behind the Edmonton net for Kane. He sweeps it around these near boards. Comiskey on it, so is Friesen. Friesen flips it out. Here's Shira. Shira with possession, plays it back. Manning to collect the puck. Neil Manning, probably touching wood a lot to be in the lineup. Had all those injuries last year. Manning injured about 3 times. Only appeared in 34 games, but every time he played, the coaching staff really did marvel a lot about what kind of young defenseman he's going to be. Look at this fight breaking out right in front of the bench. It's Kennedy for Vancouver, and it looks like it's Nygam. Shane Nygam for Edmonton. It's more of a wrestling match.
How happy do you think Nygam was that his cousin, Derek Dorsett, got his first NHL goal last night?
Very nice. And they got their arms free for a minute. And it's Kennedy who lands on top. Hasn't been this kind of hockey game. But yet the penalties, when you look on the stat sheet, there's been roughings and now this fight, but it hasn't been overly physical.
Let's have a look how it started. It's a meeting of a couple players right in front of the Edmonton Oil King bench. There you go, Nygam right there, 12. There's Kennedy. A little challenge issue. A few gloves drop. Helmets come off. And the dance is on. Talked about Don Hay and Scott Bonner acquiring that kid there for a little bit of toughness for this hockey team. Shane Nygam talked about his cousin Derek Dorsett. He kind of wanted to model his game after Dorsett. They tell me the bench is never quiet when Shane Nygam is on it, talking all the time.
There's Tyson Sexsmith. You know,
and I'm not going there.
I always do. I don't mind talking about the fact that what's on his mind. And you can see that graphic. And we bring it up tonight because that is tied for #1 in the Western Hockey League. Some people think if you talk about a shutout, it'll just go bye-bye.
Not talking.
I believe if you're in a dugout and your pitcher has a no-hitter going, it's not a good thing to go up to him and say, how's it going? I think in a golf course, it's not really good to say, hey, you know, if you get a par on this last hole, you might break 100.
No, you double bogey the last hole, you break 100.
So I don't know why, you know, we're about 80 feet above the ice.
Has nothing to do with it?
I don't think we can control anything.
I think Tyson Sexsmith would rather nobody talk about it right now.
All right.
I'll tell you, he'd love to be in that situation, wouldn't he?
Meantime, it's a Vancouver power play as the extra minor will go to Nygam here. Probably for, well, we'll assume, but maybe for instigating. It is what we have as a 4th power play.
Penalties on the play to the Giants,
for Vancouver. Just trying to pick up the announcement. It is 5 for fighting for Kennedy.
Number 12, Shane Nygam, 2 minutes for instigator.
Yeah, it is the instigator penalty. And a 10-minute misconduct thrown on top of all that. It looked like there was going to be 2, 5, and 10 based on the exchange, but maybe something happened at ice level that we didn't see. Here's Blum. Blum playing it down low towards right. James Wright has the puck, protecting it along these near boards. Blum trying to squirt free at the top of the slot area. There he is, taking the pass. Blum, nice pass down low. Peluso couldn't get clear, or Basford rather, couldn't get clear possession. Blum now back towards Basford. Poked off his stick. Nice job there by Redicke to get it down the ice.
Yeah, very good job by Redicke. That's exactly, I think, what the Red Wings see in him, his ability to score and his ability to work and check. First and foremost, you want to sign a pro contract. I don't care what your stats are in junior hockey, but you got to show you can check, unless your name is Sid Crosby.
Now it's Shira over on the far side. Now a nice pass in front, and they score again. James Henry taking that pass. I believe it was Manning who sent it cross ice. Manning to Henry, and it's 6-0 for Vancouver. Put that up as another power play goal.
You know what Vancouver does here is they stretch the ice from side to side. That allows them to create some seams for passing. If you get a team that doesn't put their stick in the passing lane, that's what happens. You get that puck in front. There's a job by defenseman Jesse Pearson trying to get the block on it. Far too late. Look at the stretching of the ice from side to side. That gives the Vancouver team an opportunity, as I said, to get that puck through people without their sticks being there to deflect it. What a neat passing play, making it 6-0 Vancouver.
Power play goal is the 3rd of the year for James Henry, who had 7 goals last season. And we'll just pick up the scoring play. It is Manning getting the first assist. And Craig Shira picking up the 2nd assist. It's our 2nd power play marker of the evening. High shot by Basford. Again, back of the net. Here's Cunningham throwing it in front, and it's swept away. We're going to get another penalty, it looks like, on Edmonton, as the Vancouver player was dumped right in the crease area, top of the crease, and Edmonton will be shorthanded once more. Cross-check.
Well, this time it's Adam Basford going to that high traffic area. That's one thing that you'll see a team like Vancouver do quite often is get a guy into the front of the net area. Watch 20 Bassford. He's around 3 guys, 4 red-shirted Oil Kings. You got to ask yourself, how come there's that many in that area? But he gets hauled down, and Coach Flo says, you know, I mean, that's just not what we want. We're putting ourselves way too much trouble here. Vancouver back on the power play.
Here's Avital. Down to Keane. Keane plays it to Blum. Blum now to Regner.
2 minutes for cross-checking.
Regner cross ice to Keane. Shot on goal. That is stopped by Lanigan.
Just good puck movement. Really good puck movement. Taking advantage of very soft penalty kill. And you get that puck to Kane. Kane's in a good position. There's a quick snap pass. Look at the speed on that puck as it comes through the box area. That is one quick release right there. And you see how Kane stopped it and shot it. Wow, what a lesson for all the kids out there. You got to be able to stop that quick pass with those soft hands. You've got to be able to release it in a hurry as well.
Well, goals against. That's the big thing right now for the Edmonton Oil Kings. They've already allowed 68 goals this season. Just got to be cut down. I mean, that's far and away the worst goals against in the Eastern Conference. There is the Portland Winterhawks, but even they haven't allowed 68. They've only allowed 50. They don't score very many in Portland. That's a different story. Nunn now to Blum, a shot that whistles wide of the net. Here's Nunn coming off the boards. Here's Regner. Regner now for Nunn. Cross ice pass broken up nicely and cleared out. Good job by Edmonton's Logan Crew to break it up and get it to the neutral zone. Broken up once more by the Oil Kings, sent down the ice. 44 seconds left in the Bright Cruz minor penalty. 8:40 to go in the third period. And it's all Giants, 6-0. And the aggregate going back to last year, they won their only meeting 7-0. So 13-0 for the Giants. Looking for more here as a shot is right on Lanigan. He makes that save. Peluso digs out the loose puck. Giants, Shearer from the line, shot, goes wide, rebound, Lanigan gets his leg on that one. Casey Pirro-Zabatal trying to take that puck off the backboards and get it on net. He did, and Lanigan was there. Shearer to Pirro-Zabatal. Here's Shearer again. Shot is blocked. Pirro-Zabatal shot blocked. Kane on the rebound, can't get a shot away. And when he works over the goalie, there's 2 Oil Kings on him. And Kane draws a crowd here. But I don't think anything more will come of that. 6-0 Giants over Edmonton. You're watching the Western Hockey League on Shaw. Back in Edmonton, Steve Flo is the head coach of the Oil Kings. The one thing, Steve, I know your goals against is obviously a big concern, but Vancouver does this to a lot of teams. What are you seeing tonight?
Well, you know, they're putting pucks at the net, and we haven't put enough pucks at the net. I thought early on that, you know, the game was tight in a lot of areas, but they were a little bit smarter through the neutral zone, getting the puck deep and then getting it towards our net. We didn't do that, and we haven't generated any offense. So you're not going to win hockey games, obviously, with 7 shots with 7 minutes to go here.
Coach, quickly, you play 11 of the next 13 on the road. Might be a good time to get this team away from this place?
Well, I think it's always a good bonding experience when you go on the road. I think we've got a lot of young guys that will learn a lot from it. And yeah, I mean, it's obviously been a tough stretch for us, but wherever we play, we've got to continue to improve and find ways to get better. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. We can't stay stagnant here. We've got to get better.
And good luck doing that. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, Steve Flo, thank you for doing that. That's very kind, especially when you consider the score line here. And his team shorthanded once more, the extra minor on that flurry for Edmonton as they worked over Keane. And so Vancouver, we have them on their 6th power play, 2 for 5 with the man advantage. Gallagher, long pass up for Bassford. Now back in the net, Pesek. Couldn't get clear possession. Here's Berube. Berube's pass down low. Maschmeyer now collecting it on these boards. Maschmeyer, number 38, Brunson Maschmeyer, an Alberta boy in his first year. Giving chase over on the far side is Raczynski. Raczynski on his backhand, can't get the shot to the net. Well, short-handed. Maschmeyer. Now Fisenko. Now Cunningham. Throws it in front, and there's the best save of the hockey game by Lanigan on Boma. As Boma tested him right from in close, and Lanigan was able to get over to make a very fine save. Blum now to Cunningham. Back to Blum. Blum and Cunningham in that corner. Fisenko from back of the net. Rolls around over to the far side. Blum's back there. Over to Regner. Nice move by Regner. Moving in. Regner shot. That's blocked. Might have been Lanigan who also got a piece of it as Blum puts it back to the net around these near boards. Gobbled up there by Fisenko. Here's Regner. Blum wants the puck. He gets it. Blum takes the shot. That's over top the net. Fisenko from behind the net. Still Fisenko. Blum's moving in. He really wants the puck on this power play. Here's Regner. His shot nicely blocked by Comiskey. Penalty over. Oil Kings back at full strength. Fisenko from back of the net. Trying to work it in front. Blum still out there. Blum moves in. Shoots. And that deflects off the target. None. Back to Regner. Regner fakes it to Blum. Takes a long shot. Blum sneaks in. How long is this shift for Jonathan Blum?
See, they're still in a power play configuration, even though the power play's ended for about 30 seconds.
Here's Nunn. Oh, he tries a pass instead of a shot. Nobody there on the other side. Blum now back out to the neutral zone. Here he comes in over the blue line. Pass over to Nunn. Jonathan Blum flirts with going to the bench, but with his team still in possession of the puck, elects not to. He'll break it up once more. This time he can't get it in deep. Now he's very tired and still not able to get off the ice. Keeping an eye on number 7, White. But the puck is gloved ahead. Blum will get a rest and we'll get a face-off.
Well, let's see how we got to this 7-0 or 6-0 score tonight. Fisenko gets the first one again. It comes off a great forecheck by Cunningham. Boma with a nice feed to the front of the net. You'll see it coming up right here. There's the feed we're talking about. Fisenko, good spot, and another great feed off the back wall. Fisenko from Blum and Gallagher. Gallagher shoots a rolling puck, makes it 3-0. Kane in front of the net. That made it 4. We're not done yet. Great feed to Cunningham, make it 5-0, and then James Henry on some real nice passing inside the offensive zone by the Vancouver defense. Manning and Shira. 6-0 Vancouver. Shots on goal, 32-7. Face off all the way down the Vancouver zone.
And from that face off, the Giants with possession. Manning being watched by Bright Cruz. Comes back out here to the neutral zone. Tyler Hulukoff bounces it into the Vancouver zone. Shira collects it there. Frank Shira. Long lead pass. Redirected in by Hiro Zabital. Flanagan plays it around these near boards. And here comes Dowd. Dowd flips it in. Bright Cruz will give chase, but it goes over the icing line first. Dowd was on his own side of center, so the faceoff will originate back in the Edmonton zone.
I talked to Torrey Jung before tonight's game, and he drove here all the way from Nanaimo. I guess he's thinking to himself, well, maybe I can help this hockey club. You'll get some action on the road. We talked about being a great acquisition, but boy, this Cam Lanigan, 16-year-old goaltender out there right now for Edmonton, has been under siege tonight. 32 shots on goal and a lot of good scoring chances.
From the face-off, the arm is in the air. We're going to get a penalty here. Vancouver Giants are going to be short-handed, tripping Peluso in the offensive zone with 4:08 to go in the period. And the hockey game, Edmonton will have a chance to get on the board.
I think a couple things that have been missing on this Edmonton team, Dan, 2 players that they're going to get back when they go on the road trip. Adrian Van de Mosseler, who was their best defenseman until he got hurt after 10 games, and Drew Nickel, a 19-year-old from Edmonton. I really think this team is going to benefit when they get these 2 guys back, probably sooner than later.
Third power play of the hockey game. We get a chance on the face-off, just 4 seconds into the power play. There's Bright Cruz. And here's Lockerbie moving in. One-time shot on the other side. It's deflected on the way, and they're banging at the puck. Does it get in behind? There's the whistle. It looked like it was getting behind Sexsmith, but nobody was there to poke it past him. and there is maybe Edmonton's best scoring chance of the hockey game.
Well, let's see how it started. Dowd in the face-off circle does get it back to the point to Lockerbie. Lockerbie's 11 right there, moves to get a slot as a shooting lane, doesn't find it. There's a fan shot from the point. Lots of traffic around the net. It looked like Clayton Comiskey thought that puck ended up in the net.
Whoa, hit the post.
Whoa, there it is, right behind Sexsmith. And you know, he heard it. He knew it got past him, and he heard it hit the post, turned around.
Isn't it? Oh, there's a chance here for Edmonton. Again, my thought was going to be, Bill, isn't it funny how many scoring chances are set up by a fan shot?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's expecting a bullet. It goes off somebody's heel or their stick. It's a broken play, and it often leads to something.
It certainly becomes a dangerous play when it's fanned. There's no doubt about that. You remember the game we did in Kootenay, the fan shot off the point?
That's what I was saying, yeah.
You know what I mean? It ended up with all kinds of problems. Well, tell you what, there's a lot of problem right here for the Vancouver Giants after that hit. Hitting from behind, a boarding call. You see it, no question. Good call, 2 men short. Vancouver, you see Casey Pierro-Zabital in the box for boarding. And I think there's a timeout called by probably, in this case, Edmonton. They're going to try desperately to get one by Don Hayes' Vancouver Giant team with 3:41 left in a 6-0 Vancouver Giant lead.
Well, it's going to be a 2-man advantage for a minute 33. So we're just waiting for announcements here. It's Edmonton's timeout. Okay, and while we have a timeout, let's remind you that the bulk of our Western Hockey League on Shaw telecasts this year will pick up in mid-November with a game between 2 BC rivals, Kelowna and Vancouver. And then we're on every week at least once and often twice from mid-November right through till, well, mid-May. And the final rounds of the playoffs will be there for, well, we have 30 telecasts in the regular season, 4 rounds of playoffs. Again, the place to be for Western Hockey League coverage all season long will be Shaw. Face-off won by Edmonton as they announced the Berube penalty. Here's Lockerbie playing it down low, comes back towards the blue line. Reddicky couldn't hold it in. Initially, we thought it was Casey Pierro-Zabital, but then it was changed to Berube. And that's the checking from behind penalty. So here's Edmonton. Golden chance to score a goal. Can they do it? Shot blocked. Another clearance attempt not able to be moved up by Cunningham. Vinsor's hard pass to Dowd, and it comes off the corner boards all the way out to the neutral zone.
Dowd's got to finish that. That puck was put just off his stick. I don't think he was anticipating it.
Now an offside broken up at the play, or at the blue line.
Vinsor moves that puck beautifully inside the zone. You'll see the cross-ice pass right across the crease area, and I don't think that Dowd expected it. That's why I think he's shaking his head. Move it down low, try to get the goalie going side to side. He just wasn't ready for that pass. Vinsor put it perfectly. All it had to do was be redirected.
Now how about this? A potential 2-on-1 while 2 men short. Oh, they go offside. Pierro-Zabital heading to the net. Offside at the Edmonton line.
Well, I know the guys killing the penalty right now for Vancouver have got one thing in mind. You know what it is. You've mentioned it. I'm not going to at this point. Take a look at the scoring leaders in the Western Hockey League. You see 3 of those top 6 in the game here tonight. Boy, what a nice season Bright Cruz is having here for Edmonton.
Sure is. Puck goes out of play and is shot into the bench area, and this will originate the face-off deep. Edmonton's won 2 or 3 face-offs here, and obviously with a 2-man advantage, that's certainly a key. They still have a half-minute remaining on this 2-man advantage.
Well, the guy that leads the quarterbacking, if you will, of the power play is Brandon Lockerbie. He's a 20-year-old, and he leads the Edmonton defense in scoring, so we'll see if he gets a little bit of the action from the blue line right there.
And Edmonton able to get the face-off possession. Here's Bright Cruz in that far corner. They try to set it up. Vancouver tries to keep him the outside from the blue line area. Reddicky playing it down low. Vinsor back to Reddicky. One-timer wide of the goal. Oil Kings are on it for a moment. Wright can't get possession. Shearer can't get his stick on it. Dowd does. First penalty almost over. Here comes Reddicky at the line. Reddicky to Lockerbie. Lockerbie back for Reddicky. Broken up, and the man out of the box had the puck, and here comes Vancouver. 3 of them through the neutral zone. There's still 1 man short. They elect not to put it in deep. And with 14 seconds to go in the Berube penalty, Edmonton sends it down the ice for an icing, and that kind of sums things up a little bit as they ice it well on the man advantage.
Good job penalty killing. Good active sticks. Try to get pucks in shooting lanes if you possibly can, even though you're 2 men down. But some nice work coming out of the box. Was that wasn't Berube that came out, but he just got a stick on it and helped, actually became an extra man on the ice and getting it out of their own zone.
Peluso, I think.
Yeah, it was Peluso that came out. You're right.
Anyway, the penalty to Berube is now about to come to an end. And the Oil Kings, with a long 2-man advantage, cannot get on the score sheet. Now there's a minute and a half remaining in the third period. Vancouver 6, Edmonton nothing. How clean has this been? 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third. Although they're looking for more here. Here's Edmonton coming out with Lee. 3 Oil Kings through the neutral zone. Lee sends it in deep. Trying to get the puck there is Sudek. Sudek, number 26, from back of the goal. Pushed off the puck. Peluso plays it around the boards. Held in by Pesic. Off the boards. Jansen, a shot going high over top of the net. Shot from a sharp angle is right on. That was Foster putting it on to Sexsmith, who turned it away. Now we're in the final minute. Vancouver sending it in deep. Friesen playing his first Western Hockey League game. Up for Lee. Over top his stick, Shearer has it in his skates. Finds it, gets it to Nunn. 38 seconds remaining as Nunn collects the puck once more. Here's Boma cutting in. Boma throwing it in front of the net. Trying to set up Fasenko for his 3rd goal. Been looking for his hat trick since the first period. 22 seconds remaining. Giants break up another Edmonton rush, and another as Nunn cuts it off. Nunn will backhand it towards the goal. It's turned aside by Lanigan, and there's 10 seconds remaining. One last chance here for Edmonton.
I think you'll see a celebration around Tyson Sexsmith in about 3.6 seconds.
Tyson Sexsmith has just become the Western Hockey League all-time shutout leader, moving into first place. We've got Brian Bridges, Leland Irving, Tyson Sexsmith all up there. And here is the celebration around Sexsmith. Interesting, though, you get a shutout, Bill, you probably don't get one of the 3 stars.
10 shots. Perfect on 10. The game in Vancouver, we talked about that earlier. He made 23 saves, so he's made 33 of 33 against this team. I mean, the celebration's fine. Nobody was rushing out there, which I thought might happen, but you know, you watch Vancouver and you say, yeah, they're just too methodical. They kind of expect this kind of stuff to happen. But good on Tyson Sexsmith. That's a career win for him, 106, including the playoffs, to go with 38 losses. It took him, well, I won't add it up together, but it took him that many games to get 20 shutouts, and now shares the record with 2 pretty good goaltenders. As you said, Brian Bridges, Seattle, and Leland Irving with Everett.
And yeah, they're doing some high fives down there. I have that as his 99th career victory in the regular season, and then, as you say, with all the playoffs, past 100. Let's go downstairs to Dan Elliott.
All right, we're with the newest record holder here in the WHL, tying the WHL record with his 21st career shutout. Congratulations, Tyson. What does this record mean to you?
You know, it's a great achievement, something that I've been working for a while here. I've had a couple of unlucky bounces in the past, but it was going to come, and finally got her tonight. And, you know, giving up 10 shots in a game like this is quite a credit for the forwards. They played well, a good checking game, and they played well for the most part. And I think they really helped me to get this record.
I was going to say 10 shots. Was it one of your easier shutouts?
It's one of the easier ones, but those games are always hard to play because, you know, when they get a shot, it's usually a pretty good quality shot, and you got to be ready for it.
Now, in terms of your team, you guys have not lost in regulation, just the 3 shootout losses. What is it about this organization that no matter what happens in terms of turnover, you guys come out every year and always one of the teams to beat?
You know, I think we just stick to our system when we play hard, and you know, we don't get very many days off, and we work hard whenever we are on the ice, and I think it's the little details that we pay attention to that make us one of the better teams in this league and have made us successful over the past couple of years.
Well, congratulations on the victory and the record, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, that's Tyson Sexsmith. We'll be right back here at WHL Hockey on Shaw to wrap things up from our game here from Rexall in Edmonton. The Vancouver Giants cruise to victory here at Rexall Place, out shooting the Edmonton Oil Kings 33-10 en route to a 6-0 victory. As a result, it's a clean sweep of the Cal Tire 3 stars. Your first star, Mikhail Fasenko, he had a pair of goals. The first 2 goals for the Giants give him 3 on the season. Lance Boma, he was your second star. He had a pair of helpers. And Jonathan Blum, your third star, always playing a ton of minutes, had a helper in this one. So there you have it, your Cal Tire 3 stars. Well, the Vancouver Giants were victorious 6-0. The final here at Rexall. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this. 6 other games around the WHL this evening. How about this? Saskatoon's 8-game winning streak snapped. They lose 4-3 in overtime to Portland. Troy Rakowski, he got the OT winner. PA leading Moose Jaw 5-2 in the third. Matt Robertson, Dustin Cameron, each with a pair of goals. Calgary defeating Red Deer 4-3 the final there. Kyle Boris had a goal and an assist. Medicine Hat getting by Prince George easily 7-3. Tyler Ennis leading the way with the goal and 2 assists. Couple games still in action. Kamloops up on Seattle 2-1. Scott Wasden has got the go-ahead goal for the Blazers, and it's Kelowna leading Chilliwack 3-0 in the second intermission. Jamie Benn leading the way offensively for the Rockets with a goal and 2 assists. And in our game tonight, it was the Vancouver Giants defeating the Edmonton Oil Kings 6-0. Mikhail Fasenko leading the way offensively. He had 2 goals. Ian Gallagher with a goal and assist, as well as Craig Cunningham with the goal and assist. Vander Kane with his 10th of the season. And James Henry rounding out the scoring as Tyson Sexsmith just needed to make 10 saves for his 21st career WHL shutout, tying a WHL record with Brian Bridges and Leland Irving for most career shutouts as the Giants get their 8th win of the season, giving up just 10 shots.
WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Watch Friday, November 14th when the Kelowna Rockets and Vancouver Giants drop the puck on another season of Friday Night Hockey. WHL Hockey, only on Shaw.
Well, on Shaw will be Friday, November 14th when the Vancouver Giants host the Kelowna Rockets in a key BC Division battle. Game time is 7:30 p.m. on the West Coast. As for our game tonight, well, it was a rout. The Vancouver Giants dominating from start to finish, a 6-0 victory, outshooting the Oil Kings 33-10. Tyson Sexsmith, 10 saves for his 21st career WHL shutout, tying the WHL record with Brian Bridges and Leland Irving. Vander Kane picked up his 10th goal this season, giving him an 11-game point-scoring streak. Mikhail Fasenko, he had a pair of goals. James Henry, Ian Gallagher, and Craig Cunningham also chipping in with goals as well. For Dan Russell, Bill Wilms, and our entire crew here in Edmonton, I'm Dan Elliott. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.